want the music, you know, sorry. It was like 14 seconds too early, but I mean, fuck this shit, you know. I'm already here, so I'm glad to see you guys. That was like, you know, the timer was in like 14 seconds still. And I like mistimed it, you know, my entrée. Anyway, I hope you appreciate my French. Yes. Hello, guys. Nice to see you in this wonderful Sunday. It's fucking cold as hell everywhere in the world. I hope you're not freezing. I hope you're not freezing in your home. I have my Phantom Liberty shirt on me today. Here you go, for those who didn't see. And I can show you the back. It's kind of awesome, I have to say. I really like it. I really like it. So hey, Nekhudan, thank you, my friend, for the sub. It's okay, I'm here. This sub will go in the Death tribute found. Expecting at least 3 tributes today. Thank you. Sadly, it may happen. We will see. But maybe Kerry won't kill us. Expansion in 3 months confirmed. Nothing is confirmed. Next Alice. My little trolley friends. My little trolley friends. Nothing is confirmed. So, starting from the beginning. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, guys. I haven't been here actually because I was super tired last week. We had a finale of the Girls in the Game like mentoring scholarship program from like Friday to Saturday. And then from Saturday to Sunday, we had like a first sort of day of the second year. And I was a mentor in a first year, and I'm a mentor in a second year as well. So I had to be there. My mentee, Ula, was showing her project, the quest that we did together. And then next day, Saturday, Sunday, I was already working with my new mentee, Zuza. Yes, so that was, and I came back home like literally like 2 hours before the stream, and I was like, Jesus, I have so many things to do and handle. I can't do it, like I can't go in and go live because there's so many things that happened over the weekend. I need to handle all of that. So because of that, I haven't been able to go live last week, my dears, but I hope it's okay. Mentee is a female version of the word mentor. No, Jadunio. Mentee is is podopieczna in Polish. So it's basically, mentee is either male or female person working with someone who is a mentor in English, at least as far as I'm aware, my friend. Anyhow, just wanted to explain myself, my dears, because I love to stream for you, to be honest, and I'm always trying to. You know, as much as I can, but this time around I haven't been able to. A new GPU for new update, Marcin asks. Well, Marcin, to be completely honest, you know, I still have 2080 Ti, and you know, it's fine. I think it's fine. You know, at least at this point, you know, with my GPU. But you have already touched the topic of the DLSS 3 update. So I don't know if you guys saw how DLSS 3 is performing on 4090s, 4080s on Cyberpunk, but it's like between 100 to 120 frames. So it's fucking cool. On like RTX, everything on Ultra. So pretty awesome, I have to say. There are some videos and so on and comparisons that you can take a look. I think like I even shared it on my Twitter. At some point, the Mark Medina, I think he is the IGN journalist. Yeah, I was just checking that out. So I just like retweeted his video. It's pretty awesome looking. Of course, you know, this is like real fucking next gen shit, you know, those cards, the 4090s and so on, and 4080s. But still, I'm glad that Cyberpunk looks and works so well on it. You know, it's looking seriously fucking insane with the with you know, with all the reflections, all the puddles, all the weather and all that shit. So really cool. DJ Gnu asks about Sapphire. Sapphire said that she is like lurking today. She has like some work to do, so that's why she's just lurking here. Yeah, Sapphire just wrote, hope everyone is good. Sorry, but I will be lurking tonight. No worries, my dear. We know that you have work to do, so that's okay. It happens. Okay then, but that is regarding the LS3 update. I hope you guys got it. Now, from some of you, because like we started getting reports here and there from some of the players that you know, that the game was crashing here and there. The important thing is you always need to update your drivers, my dears. If you run it in like, you know, drivers from like March 2013, it will be slightly outdated, you know, it will be slightly outdated. So just make sure to please update your drivers, because otherwise it will be always an issue. So, what video card are you rocking in your machine? Oasis Cyberpunk asks. I am rocking 2080 Ti, so you know, nothing really too crazy. Like if you go to my like page about me, the Twitch like below me, you can see it there. Yes, this is one of the banger that is playing right now. By the way, yes, exactly. It's Outsider No More. That's the case. That's the case, my dears. Sweetcap wrote also disable mods until they are updated. Yeah, it's the same as always, you know. It's just like we are always trying to break as little as we can, you know, for your mods, guys, but it's not always so easy. It's not always possible. I wanted to also like mention and greet our amazing Reds and our amazing mods that are with us. I already mentioned Sapphire, but we also have Cogito, of course. Thank you so much, Cogito, for being with us as every week. And then we have our dear Reds. We have Ayano, our UI producer. We have Chivok, our customer support engineer, and we have Small Sandayo Kira, our in-game photographer. Thank you so much, dears, for being here. If you see anyone on the chat speaking with a diamond icon, that is a member of a red team. Sorry, my voice is slightly cracky because yesterday we had we had our like social Friday, not yesterday, 2 days ago. We had our social Friday in Red that happens like sort of every month, every month and a half. And I was speaking so much that it's just like my voice is a bit weird. Oh God, Cogito, thank you so much, my friend, for gifting the subs. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. So, I already saw a question from Pablo. Pavel, did the new update improve performance on older GPUs as well? Because yeah, I seem to have 10 to 15 FPS more on RTX 3070. So, Pablo, the thing is, what has happened, there was numerous things that changed, and again, I am not completely versed in that topic, so I might be slightly inaccurate here, but basically every single time when we do update like that, we work together with NVIDIA, with their amazing engineers, really great team there. And what happens is both the drivers are updated, and then there are updates on the games side. Also, like the reflex was introduced, right? And I've seen feedback all over the place that the improvement in the performance on other cards than 40s is that a reflex is responsible for it. But I might be slightly inaccurate with what I'm telling you right now, because again, that's not my specialty, so don't want to mislead you. For sure, like our rendering engineers or NVIDIA guys would be able to tell more about this specific topic. Okay then, Ayano, right? Thank you so much, Ayano, for raiding. Yes, Ayano's raiding us with hair viewers. It's really nice, Ayano, that you're with us. I already mentioned that many times, my dears, but you probably know it already, but we'll mention it again. Iona's our UI producer. Actually, we are really cooperating very closely on everything UI related, both for the patches and for the new stuff for you for the Phantom Liberty. And Ayana's streaming, from what I've seen in her schedule, it's both Destiny 2 and God of War Ragnarok. So if you're interested, you have her in my recommended streamers. And thank you, Ayana, for being with us. As always, Ayana has been here since like very beginning, since I started streaming. So I really, really appreciate her help with everything. Okay then. So that was the DLS3 patch that happened, because there's like so many things that happened in 2 weeks. As always, there's like insane amount of topics. So another thing that happened was patch 4.01 for The Witcher 3. And I hope that you got it. I did. It improves like so many different things. There's like a lot of like very tiny tweaks. I already saw people talking about the top-notch swords guy from The Witcher 3. So I'm glad you guys like it. The team was like, okay, you know, if everybody like appreciates this guy so much, then we'll do it properly. So that's why the top-notch swords guy now has swords, you know, and that he's selling. So yes. It's insane you have improved it so much. Controller Leaf wrote, thank you so much, my friend. I mean, you know, I am not directly involved in the team who's like fixing it or like working on it or improving things, but I am talking to them like pretty much every single week, every single day, not the week. When I see anything, especially to my designers like Eero Varendi, you know, our senior quest designer who's working on it for you guys, or like Philip Weber, who was promoted to narrative director on Polaris. So really like I know that the guys and girls there on The Witcher really want to make sure that the game is in a spotless shape, honestly. So yes. Sława Paweł, thank you so much, Sława. Top-notch swords, Kruszwitz wrote. Definitely top-notch swords. Let me read the comment from Jadunia. So Jadunia said, so recently I replayed Witcher 3 and in Blood and Wine I saw a grave and on this grave was, and I paraphrase, Pavel Sasko, a man of small stature but great spirit, an outstanding dancer, but he forgot that he has to eat so he died. Please elaborate. Oh god. Jadunia, so it's actually really funny. It's actually really funny. So, the graveyard, right, when you are actually meeting Regis in Blood and Wine, this is the graveyard that basically, so the quest where you meet, like, Regis, it starts off with you as a player fighting him, sort of. I don't want to spoil you guys too much, but basically there's this moment there, well, not really fight. Anyway, I'm getting lost in spoilers right now. But sorry, so I won't spoil it anymore. But basically, there is a moment of introduction of him in a really cool way, and I'm talking about the hall. And then afterwards, like, this is the moment when my quest starts, from that introduction, basically. And throughout that point, you're, you know, till whole La Cage aux Fous and the Spoon Collector and Marlena and all that stuff. That is everything I did for Blood and Wine. And I was working together with Karolina Stachera. Karolina is our senior writer. We worked on multiple quests, including Bloody Baron storyline. So like 6 or 7 quests that you play with Bloody Baron. That is a part that me and Karolina worked on. But anyway, and part of course was done also by Joanna Radomska when it comes to the Bloody Baron. But going back to the cemetery, so like I think it was Karolina, and she came to me at some point with a question, hey, you know, what if we all just, you know, what we will just do a graveyard, you know, and just like bury our devs there, right? And again, you know, like the graveyards with devs, that's not something very new in computer games. Video games, there's been like a bunch of games that did it. Most notably, I believe that was Fable 2. That was before Blood and Wine, but there were a few more that you could actually do that. In Fable, actually, you even had a feature that you could like dig stuff from those graves. Anyway, so Carolina came to me, and we started like burying, people there, and we at the end like buried I think 95 people that we've been working with, like the closest at that time, or who we've been working, on the Witcher expansions. And basically what we did is like the graves that at the beginning, I think Regis and Geralt sit on, those are the graves of Carolina and mine. So basically when you're sitting and drinking, you are sort of sitting on our graves. That was the idea, yes. And in regards of the comment, right, like the specific grave that Carolina wrote, well, Carolina tried to be funny. Right, she tried to be funny in every case, and I think she was. She wrote the pretty cool like limericks, for those graves every single time. And one of them, and basically every single time she referenced who that person is and so on. And she basically, in my case, she basically wrote that I forgot to eat, and I slept too little. And that I'm a guy with great spirit but with a small posture, because I'm a short dude. I'm like 166 centimeters, so that's like 4 feet or something. That's very little, something like that. So I'm just a fucking short, tiny dude. And the thing is, it's actually really funny. But I'm doing the intermediate fasting since like long time, and. One of the forms of intermediate fasting, maybe you know it, is basically 1 meal a day thing, right? And I really like it. I actually eat once a day since like 10 years, maybe. Almost since I started in Red, because I'm in Red like 11 plus years right now, slightly over the 11 years. So I'm eating since like 10 years once a day, and that's like normal thing for me. With exceptions, right? Because when I'm visiting family or when we are going with Sapphire to a restaurant or so, there are exceptions, but most of the time, which is like 85%, 90% of the time, I'm just eating once a day. Because I really like it like that. It gives me more energy. Besides, I feel fucking like a fucking whale when I eat more. Anyway, so Carolina was just referencing that, basically, when she said that he forgot to eat. Because everyone was always telling me I just don't eat because I just don't eat during the day. I just eat like early afternoon / evening because I go to sleep really late at night. So that's basically how it is. Anyway, whatever. I will finish speaking about myself because that's not that interesting. But I was trying to answer your comment, Jadunia. Hi Pavel, how are you doing? When will be remake of Witcher 1 released? Daidaro said. I have no idea, my friend, and I cannot share information like this. But I do have an idea how I'm feeling. I'm okay, I think. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Vuvufui, thank you so much for the cheer, my friend. Vuvufui, I think that's the name you read your name. I've seen that in older patches, the monowire used to change color with damage type, but it no longer does. What is the intended like to be removal of the hollow Sony arm, or is this a bug? Oh god damn it, I cannot really recall what it is. I don't think it's a bug, to be completely honest, because like a few times I had you guys mention to me that something was a bug. Like for instance, there was a case with when Pablo pointed out the lights of the cars changing, and that's something that we missed to mention in the patch notes. That was intentional change, because when we analyzed the lights of the car, basically the mode of the lights, like 3 types, like one of them wasn't working properly in regards of it wasn't giving you as a player what you would expect from the lights in the game. It just was kind of useless, right? So that's why we were like, okay, this makes no sense whatsoever. We just wanted to correct it. So that was intentional change. We missed that in the patch notes though, because I checked it after Pablo pointed it out. So in a way here, so going back to your monowire, I doubt really that it's a bug. I suspect it was an intentional change. That being said, I don't know completely because I'm not the gameplay guy, but I can ask people that are fucking wiser than me and know much more stuff about it. Okay, so then I will know, because to be honest, can't tell from the top of my head. Poznań, interesting. Poznań wrote, or Poznan, but I assume it's Poznań actually. I have a theory that FF06B5 is just a date you will use once they reveal something about the game. My guess, it will be International Pink Day, and it throws in that theory. When is the International Pink Day? Besides, like, FF06B5 is magenta, I think, technically speaking, not pink. But let me Google that shit, because I have no idea when it's International Pink Day. Wait, checking. I had no idea that the 12th of April 2023. International Day of Pink has been celebrated annually to the second Wednesday of April, and this year it will be marked on April 12th. This day was created in a campaign to end bullying against, oh god, I cannot read it, 2S LGBTQ community? What 2S stands for in the front of LGBTQ? Continuing the fight for equality, diversity, and acceptance. Well, I mean, I didn't know about the existence of such day, to be completely honest with you, but here you go, we learned something new. Like Pink Season. Yeah, Pink Season, exactly. But anyway, my dears, I just wanted to say something. On these streams, we are not giving any updates regarding the project. There's no reveals, leaks, or what else? There's not here. It's a family-friendly stream with a random guy from with internet connection. Yes, exactly. That's basically what we do here. There's no other content. Okay. And we talk about game development. Okay. Voice from Games. Hello, V. Nice to have you with us. Have a nice stream, my friend. Thank you so much. Hummingbird Box. Hummingbird Box. Does CDPR make meta-references in Night City? Specifically, the cameo of Chrome, Night, and Electricity has to be a reference to the devs, right? The deities who gave Night City life and style, deities who could turn off the power of Cyberpunk and erase Night City from existence. I mean, to be honest, Hummingbird, I don't know specific references to what you just brought up. So in regards of that, I cannot comment. But do we make meta references? We do. Of course we do. Of course we do, in various ways in our games. Now, if we do in the exact way you brought it up, I don't know. I'm short in knowledge in that specific case. Pablo asks, show us your shirt. I mean, I did show you my shirt multiple times already. I had it twice on me already. I washed it, by the way. So yes. Jujo asked, but on the next stream. What do you mean on the next stream? No. Pavel, what will come first, Witcher 1 remake or Witcher 4? I think it makes sense to do remake first, so you can get to know Unreal Engine, and Witcher 4 could be smooth ride. Daidaro, I don't know. You know, there's many different approaches, I would say, to the strategy such as this, and that's it. That's as much as I can tell you. I'm sorry. Matt16 asks, out of curiosity, will all the crazy headlines about ChatGPT, have you seen already applications of AI in quest designing, or so you think will be used in the future for idea generation? Oh, I actually think it will be it will be used for idea generation quite a bit. I have to admit, like, I think there's so many different ways we can as devs and as creatives utilize AI. So I am quite sure that it's going to be used. Now, if it's going to be used in quest design, I don't know yet. Maybe. I am one of the guys that really loves to innovate, loves to check new ways, and so on. Because, like, I do believe that if you are, like, sort of submerged in the past and sort of living the past, then you're becoming the past. You know what I mean? And I want to be, among the best, studios, among the best devs in the world, and I'm fucking nowhere there. But that's the goal, I'm not sure if I will ever achieve it, but fucking hell, I'll try. And the thing is that adopting the tools that are coming, that's one of the things that we have to do, I remember times, when Photoshop was really wildly sort of accepted, when in concept art, or like the method, I don't know, some of you concept artists or artists might know, photo bashing. I don't know if you heard about photo bashing. So basically when you're doing a concept art, you are looking for references and you are sort of overlaying it, overpainting, combining things to do quick ideation. And photo bashing is a normal thing that everyone does in the industry. It's a really popular method, really quick. And the thing is, like, it wasn't like that a long time ago, right? Like, that's something fairly new when it comes to the industry. And this is exactly how I see the AI when it comes to the, let's say, idea generation or whatever generation. It's just yet another tool that we as humans will be using to just make our work better, and sometimes faster, maybe sometimes open the doors that you wouldn't see. Like, there are whole screenplays and even movies and shows that are done by AI and generated. And, some of that shit is really creepy and strange, and there's a bit of time before AI will be able to cross this boundary of actually really, leaving the space of uncanny valley when it comes to the storytelling. Do I think it will happen? I think so, because like if you are a bit versed in the storytelling, right, like, and you will, let's say, analyze some basic storytelling narrative structures, let's say it for 3-act structure. There's a fantastic book that I can recommend you guys, a screenplay for 21st century for Polish speakers. It's Scenariusz na miarę XXI wieku. That is the one of the better books when it comes to storytelling and structuring your narrative, by Linda Aronson. And for instance, like, she proves and shows, that there's like numerous different methodologies and structural changes, structural sort of tricks you can do to structure your narrative. Like, for instance, Freytag's pyramid, right? Like, the Freytag, that was a German dramaturgist, right, that described, a typical narrative structure when you have a rising tension, climax, and release, where you end up in a different place of the story, and you can replicate that and use that way you build your scenes or encounters, or even whole acts or chapters, and those elements of a Freytag pyramid you can combine to actually create whole acts and whole structure. Now, if you feed that to AI and teach it, actually it could pretty much prepare you the structure and be, of that. Now, if it's gonna be good and groundbreaking, probably not. But if it's gonna be quick, oh fuck yes. Of course it will be. So, that's why I quite like to compare it to photo bashing on concept art. I think it's a very, we live in a very intriguing times. My dears. And I don't know how close you are actually following that, but right now the battle for AI is pretty much happening, and we are in a way living in a battlefield. It's quite intriguing when you think about it. Advancement on AI, so big and so quick. And we as humans, we are like, and as industries, we are trying to adapt and figure out how we can use that AI and what to do about it. So I think there's so many things that can happen. There are some other things that I don't want to speak about in regards of AI, because those things are maybe just a bit more, how'd you call it? I don't know, those are industry secrets in a way, let's call it like that. So don't want to go deeper into this, but definitely I'm seeing AI as a very, very intriguing tool, possibly powerful, possibly very useful, and we'll see what the future brings. Ash Beauty Fusion. I'm sure you probably can confirm. Oh, my man, or my person rather, because don't know, don't know you. I'm sure you probably can confirm, but are expansions still something CDPR will be doing between your future games? My friend, you're so good. You knew already that I can't answer this question. So hey, are you going to ask Hi-Fi Rush? I am very curious about the game. I'm right now playing few different things. Well, I'm playing Phantom Liberty, like fucking a lot of it. It's okay. And then I'm also playing Children of Morta. I quite like the game. I unlocked most of the characters right now, but they are just beating my ass. I'm so bad in just like games that require you to like perform well and so on. So I feel like I have literally like 2 left hands, or probably if I would, like some of you guys with your feet, you would be much more skilled than me, you know, when it comes to playing. So holy fuck. So yes, Emma Tuma, hi, hello. Gotham City Knight. This is probably asked, but why do characters pull out a phone to call, like when Panam called Rogue, after we killed Nash, or when Judy called NCPD for Eve's body? Very cool question, Gotham Knight. Or rather, Gotham City Knight. It's actually really cool question. So, if you look actually at the history of advancement of the humankind, you will realize that one of the very typical things would happen is a overlap of technology, right? And what I mean by that, for many years, and even now, we had still old type of cell phones with like buttons that you were pushing, you know, old Nokias, while in the same time, already like iPhones were like 6, 7, 8 years on the market. And sort of the touch screen has became an absolute standard. That's basically an answer, Gotham City King. The thing is that for us, in Cyberpunk, what we wanted to do, we wanted to show you guys in a way, you know, situations when there's so many different like technologies in a way working together. That's why you have the holocalls. That's why you have some people using normal cell phones. You have the data transfer via, you know, when you can see, you know, the different colors of the eyes. So that was, of course, intentional. That was really widely debated, how we really want to do it. And I think like the moment when sort of the touch screens of the mobile phones have been pushing out the standard old phones with the buttons, and again, there's so many people that still use old Nokias and still use like phones with actual buttons. There are ways, you know, where you can see that technological overlap. So that's the reason. And in the same time, you know, sometimes you have people that use actually both, you know. So they can be already using new tech, but sometimes old tech, you know. So really depends. Anyway, great question, Gotham Night King. Thank you for pointing it out. I think it's important for us, for like world building in general, to just make sure that we provide you guys and build the worlds that are believable, but in the same time they're like sort of ingrained in our culture, our history, in a way that when you analyze it, you can understand it, and you can be like, oh yeah, that actually makes a lot of fucking sense. You know, that you don't think about it and you're like, yeah, that's something that the devs missed. So that's the case. Like, for instance, that's why a lot of people can like send you money, you know, via transfer, like nowadays. But you can also find a lot of money in actual, like, you know, physical form lying in Night City here and there. So that is another example of just sort of like coexistence of few different like payment methods. When you look at the 2023, right now, there's even more, right? Like, of course, you know, the whole crypto doesn't exist in a way in Cyberpunk completely because of various reasons, the whole data crash and so on. But you can see, you know, we as human beings use so many different payment methods and those payment methods in a way exist also in Cyberpunk. And we have tried to reflect that, taking into account, of course, a very unique like lore and circumstances in which the game, historical circumstances where the game happens. Jack Talala, thank you so much for the Prime. I really appreciate it. Revolver Salota. Recently, I came across a discussion on Twitter about the graffiti in games. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Which is usually meant to be used as a part of a momentum storytelling, but unfortunately too often comes off unnatural, less as believable piece of art from the world and more like the visible affect of work of a level designer who doesn't know how graffiti artists actually work. What do you think about it? How should it be done? Well, I mean, excellent question, Revolver. To be honest, we have tried to do it well. I think it's done mostly quite well in Cyberpunk. I found or seen some places where I was like, okay, that's not really the way it would happen in a normal life. There are like situations when you see the graffiti that is painted over like really weird shapes and so on. And it's like when you're a graffiti artist who's like actually painting something, you wouldn't ever place it like that. That's kind of strange. You know, you would look for an actual canvas, you know, a place where you can really do it well. Or you would sort of go into a realm when you're like combining elements of, you know, the world together with that graffiti. There's an excellent example. I don't think it was Banksy, but there's this amazing graffiti with lots of like cables, you know, on a wall, and then there's this cable going down, and then there's this girl, you know, who's like sort of using it like for jumping, you know, and training. Like it's skakanka in Polish. Sorry, I don't know the English word. It's escaped me right now. But basically, there's like a lot of amazing like graffitis that show you, you know, how what the thought process was, right? Like, jumping rope. Okay, Glassolalia. That's elaborate. But yes, it's a jumping rope. Thank you, Ayano. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's the thing. So normally, like in world, when someone creates a graffiti, it's a matter of creating, you know, a piece of art. You know, sometimes it's of course, you know, someone is trying to destroy something and just paint something over. That happens too. But when those are like actual like beautiful graffitis, when you try to make something stand out like a piece of art, it really looks incredible. Like I remember, like during my trip to Miami when I was on the part of the I forgot the name of the part of the city where like a lot of the Spanish community is. So many fucking incredible graffitis as like literally like works of art, like a size of the buildings almost in places in Miami. I was amazed actually. And so I think like this is the actual way how you do that, you know. This is the way you do this, you know, like you try to like think, okay, what is this given artist trying to do? Is he trying to like basically make a work of art, make a work of art that is combined with how the level structure and world looks like? Or is he actually trying to cross out and destroy something and so on? And you can do it in a clever manner, like combining, you know, the storytelling with combining the storytelling in the world with actually, you know, giving hints to the player, as you pointed out, Revolver, like basically work of level designer. You know, sometimes we want to hint some things and so on. I don't think graffiti is particularly good for that because it really stands out as a sort of almost a tutorial window. So probably there has to be slightly more done. But I think those are good efforts, you know, of like moving that exposition, in this case it's an exposition of mechanics, into the world of the game. I think like in time we as industry will start we'll learn how to do it better. Winwood, yes, Evo, Winwood. That was it. Evo, yes, Winwood. That's like the district, I would say, of Miami. Fantastic, like incredible atmosphere. We were there during some kind of like it was like some kind of a market with like a lot of food stalls, like music playing and so on. Amazing, like really fantastic atmosphere there. I really liked it. Andrei 2527 subscribed. Thank you so much, my friend. Nusum Tico, thank you so much for the Prime. You guys are the best. Dividend Knight asks, can you at least say if Phantom Liberty will be at least over 5 hours? No, my friend, I cannot say anything. I cannot say anything because, like, the thing is, and that already happened like 2 weeks ago. Like, I was talking and answering your guys' questions, and it literally became the articles again. So I love us talking here to, but unfortunately sometimes when I say stuff, it garners attention that I don't want, I want to talk to you, but I don't want this to turn into PR articles and who knows what, especially not PR articles, but like an actual articles that make it look like I'm doing here some PR, I don't want that. What mouse are you using? That's the Cyberpunk edition, my friend. Fucking love this one, actually. Really awesome razor. Really awesome. Sorry, I'm just trying to show it to you. Very cool mouse. I bought it actually just when it was announced, and it actually is so fucking good, by the way. But yeah. Lucy wrote, said the no PR. Yes, exactly. How long do batteries last? They do last like for a whole day, sort of, kinda, because like it comes in with like this charging port. So basically, when I'm not using it, I'm just putting it on the charging port naturally. So I never ran out of batteries, basically. Grindera wrote, CDPR dev doesn't confirm. Cyberpunk Liberty. Phantom Liberty will be at least 5 hours long. Shortest DLC in the gaming history? ? Yes, I hope that won't happen. I hope that won't happen. I'm not commenting on anything in regards of the length. So forgive me, my dears. But that would be my NDA suicide if I would do something like this and just randomly start talking about that. Michaelovsky asks, what is this yellow magenta building on left side of Prime statue behind Arasaka Tower? Is this some sort of company or is just for the visuals? Because it is quite unusual from other buildings. Michael, I have no idea what building you're referring to, my friend. I'm sorry. Like, if this is not a place that you can visit in the game, then I assume it was something done for the visuals, for the, to make the place really stand out and be unique and interesting. But honestly, I can't tell anything more. I don't know what building you're referring to. Elusi Road mouse lasts 2 days for me. 3, 4 if you turn it off when not using. I never actually turn it off, to be completely honest. I just put it on that charging port, and it just always works. So, but that might be also the thing that, because like during work, like hours, normal working day, what I do I have like lots of meetings and so on when I actually like speak, right? So I'm not really using this mouse to actively like click shit. Therefore, like my mouse is just like lying here in the charging port, blinking like with green light. So I know it's charging. And because of that, it's just, it always is charged. Anyway. Callahan. Hey, Pablo. What's the game you're waiting the most in 2023? Except Cyberpunk expansion, of course. Callahan, I am actually not sure. There's nothing really that spiked my interest really a lot. Like, I am curious about the Hogwarts, how it will look like, how it will do in general. I'm quite curious about the game. But in regards of actually looking forward for something, I mean, all of the things that I was in a way looking forward have been shipped, have been released, being Elden Ring and then and then God of War Ragnarok. So actually at this point, I'm not quite sure. Like, I think the most I'm looking forward to Phantom Liberty at this point, to be completely frank with you. Probably something escaped me. I mean, I'm very curious about Armored Core, to be completely honest, because I'm a From Software like fanboy. I fucking love those guys. Love the games they're doing. Like, I love their sort of approach to feedback and so on. So yeah. It's just like I love the identity they have, not maybe as a studio, but more like the games they're putting out there. So I'm quite curious about Armored Core, to be honest with you. But outside of that, I mean, you know, there are other games that I'm looking forward to. Of course, you know, I'm curious about Dreadwolf by BioWare. So the new Dragon Age. I'm curious about new Mass Effect, 100%. Those are like the two more anticipated games. I'm sort of kinda curious about Starfield. Like, that looks like really not something that is my kind of game, but I'm definitely curious. And by my kind of game, I mean, like, I'm talking about production value here. And what I mean by that is, like, for instance, the fact that the main character is not voice acted. And again, I understand the advantages of that, because you can basically feel out and be like this character and so on, but you're losing so much on like building emotions. So in scenes and so on, and in acting, and I love storytelling in games. That's why it like doesn't really make me that hyped. Also, like 1,000 Planets make me worried slightly, I have to admit. But again, you know, this is a very good like development studio, you know, and I know that they are going to, they're going to do whatever they can. However, that's not something I'm super eagerly waiting for, but I'm curious. And of course, I think the last one maybe that I can mention is Diablo 4. Like, I've been playing Diablo since Diablo 2. Like, I've been grinding Diablo 2 a lot. I've been playing Diablo 3 a lot. So, especially like after the Eternals, it's called, have been introduced. So like 2-3 years after the release, when there were like a bunch of changes to the game, when the marketplace was removed from Diablo 3, I really enjoyed the game. So I'm really looking forward to Diablo 4, especially that some of the friends and people I know have been working on that game. People I worked with, because they're just, you know, people I know from the industry, or we just worked before either on Witcher or on Cyberpunk together. So I'm looking forward to that. And god damn it, I think those are all. This is everything. Like, that's sort of everything that I have in my mind. Yeah. Exactly, Matt wrote, like, Bethesda's not to the CDPR, completely different philosophies of RPG storytelling. Yeah, Matt, exactly. That's completely true. You know, that's completely true. Revolver, I'm not even going to read your comment. You know, I'm not going to read your comment. Besides, you know, my dear Sapphire loves actually like Skyrim and Bethesda games in general. She's really looking forward to Starfield. So I'm gonna be exposed to a lot of Starfield anyway, you know, my friends. How about Redfall from Bethesda's Arcane? I mean, I'm not really looking forward to Redfall. Like, I really like Arcane as a game dev studio, but Redfall doesn't really capture me. Like, I loved what they were doing with Dishonored series. You know, so this like immersive sim, semi-immersive sim with fantastic level design, with very solid storytelling, good replayability value. I really like that from Arcane. I'm not too hyped about Redfall, to be honest with you. Like, you know, I mean, honestly, one of the characters that can create fucking umbrellas and shoot umbrellas, that looks quite fucking rad, I have to admit. So I definitely like feel, I definitely feel, you know, that that there's a lot of creativity, you know, and heart put into this game, but that's not something that I'm interested in. Science fiction person asks, I know you can't comment on future of Witcher. Hey, here you go. You know everything. But please don't drop the ball with storytelling like Blood Origin did. I mean, science fiction person, how do you, like, you know that, you know, we as to the project, we had nothing to do with Blood Origin, my friend, right? Like, I mean, you have played our games, you know, and those are the things that we are involved at when it comes to storytelling. Also, you know, Cyberpunk Edge Runners. That's something we've been involved in really deeply when it comes to storytelling. The Netflix show is a show done by the Netflix crew. Blazek asks, what about Dead Island 2? I mean, Blazek, to be honest, like, the zombie games are not my thing. Like, I had hard time, to be honest, playing Last of Us, and because I loved, like, Last of Us, like, storytelling and characters, especially first one, I really have been looking forward to the Last of Us 2, and had great time with the game. However, I think, like, there are, like, clearly Last of Us 1 is just a better game, in my opinion, especially on the side of the storytelling. But that was only because, like, I really like Naughty Dog and what they are doing and the qualities they're putting into their games. Like, zombies is seriously not my cup of tea. It's just been so much zombies that, like, I think that genre has been exploited like 20 years ago. And right now, at this point, we are already at the situation when we are, like, using, you know, the Čerpak or Drušlak, you know, and trying to fucking get anything from a bottom, you know, of the pot, and trying really to get anything that, you know, is good and works. Anyway, just, you know, I'm not saying that whatever other devs are doing regarding, like, zombie genre is not good, you know, like, as I mentioned, Naughty Dog has proven that it can be done in a quite fresh way, I would say. But, you know, like, the thing is, like, when you look at The Last of Us, it's an interesting topic, like, why the game is called The Last of Us? Because it's about people, because it's about humans, and it's about those that are left, and the sort of zombies, let's call them. This is just a stage where this thriller, this drama plays out. This emotional story is told. It's not really about zombies, right? And I think this is the way to do it, you know, like, if you're going into really zombie genre. And again, right, like, there's nothing wrong in having games that are like slaughtering games, and you fucking go in to just kill as many waves of enemies as you want. Sure thing, and I think it can be fun. Really not my cup of tea. Like, I think it's so exploited already. I would struggle to find another example of genre or, like, types of games that are, like, just exploited even more. It's difficult to come up with a good example. Pinky asks, are you watching The Last of Us show? If so, what did you think of episode 3? I didn't watch the show yet, Pinky Julian. I am waiting for the time with my dear Sapphire when we can sit together and watch it properly. I hope it will happen soon. We didn't have a chance to watch it yet. I'm quite curious. I mean, I am not too hyped when it comes to the fact that they are just retelling the story. Like, that is a thing that I'm like, oh, because I loved Last of Us 1. I played a lot of and finished, of course, you know, Last of Us 2 and enjoyed it a lot. And the fact that they are just retelling the story, and I know that they did a lot of adaptation, there's a lot of new stuff, and they are faithful, and this is for the fans. I get all that part. But I love the video games the most, right? Like, the interactive medium. And then taking the interaction out of it and making a series, like, again, not something I would be super excited about, to be completely honest with you. But again, for the Naughty Dog games, it's very close, right? Their games are, in a way, playable movies or interactive movies. This is what they do. The gameplay was always and has been always at the back foot, in a way. Maybe that's too harsh to say, but the gameplay has been always secondary to the presentation, to the visuals. That's been always, you know, and you can really just watch, you know, someone play Last of Us 1 and 2 and just not miss anything, honestly. Close to anything. Not miss close to anything. So I think, like, in a way, I get it. You know, it's a very close transition. But again, those are just my feelings about the show. I didn't watch it. I assume it's gonna be banging. Like, I mean, Neil Druckmann is fucking amazing. Like, he's one of the better storytellers when it comes to the computer medium of his times. And the thing is that if the fact that he has been given enough liberty and enough influence to really make that show, I really feel that this basically shows up in the quality. So, but I'm gonna watch it for sure. I'm gonna watch it for sure, my friend. It just maybe not like right away, at some point. Amos asks, is it worth reading the last Sapkowski's book, Season of Storms? I mean, Amos, if you're a fucking fan of Sapkowski and like the lore and so on, yeah, I think so. I think it's a cool story in a way. It's much weaker, I would say, than the saga, than the short stories. I mean, the short stories are fucking the best anyway. But like I would say it's in the level of the weaker books from the saga. Maybe like 1 star less, I would say. It's not bad or anything, but maybe like out of 5, I would give it like 3.5 to Season of Storms. Maybe 4 if I'm like a fanboy of a Witcher and I'm like really starving for any like good Witcher content. I think then Season of Storms you will enjoy. And again, it's a book you read in like 2 days, right? Like, because from what I remember, it was like, what, below 400 pages, maybe 350 or something. I remember, like, I read it in like 2-3 days. Like, you just sit down and like go 150 pages for a sitting. Honestly, it just flies. So, I think it's cool to know it. You know, definitely. After all, it's still Andrzej Sapkowski. After all, it's The Witcher. So if you like The Witcher in general, I think you're gonna enjoy it. You know, not the best thing in the world, but yeah. Have you read the Hasid trilogy? That's how you say it. Science fiction person. Oh, absolutely. Of course I did. Of course I did. I even read, my friend, The Golden Viper. You know, the story in Afghanistan of that soldier in Afghanistan that meets the Golden Viper, gets how'd you call it? Hallucinating because of that. So yes, I think I've read everything that Sapkowski ever wrote. I've read the Malady. I've read he's like this compendium that he wrote. I think I wrote everything I've read everything he wrote. I'm struggling to think if there was anything that I didn't. Maybe there was something, but yeah. Oh, we have Vivian on our chat. Hey, Michalina, nice to have you with us. Michalina is one of the mentees of Girls in the Game program, 2nd edition. And Michalina is a mentee of Paweł Ochocki, our senior cinematic designer and coordinator. Nice to have you with us, Michalina. Revolver said, I've heard some comments that CDPR actually developed the world of The Witcher because Sapkowski wasn't interested in it as much as the plot and characters. Will you agree with that? Oh god, I mean, it's complicated and I don't think even I have enough knowledge to judge it, to be completely honest with you, Revolver. Like, when you look at the books, right, like that Sapkowski wrote, everything that he wrote, like, you can see that he is interested much more in a drama and a thriller and the relationship between characters than the world, because, like, when you read the books, you can see discrepancies between books and the borders of the countries moving and places where the rivers and mountains are. You can see that happen if you map it out. That's why like preparing the map for The Witcher is not such an easy task, because like there are some differences basically in the way it was written. And also he sometimes, I mean, Andrzej Sapkowski sometimes uses unreliable narrator, and because of that you don't really know if that's true or not. Specifically, I'm referring here to the parts when Dandelion's narrating and so on. You don't know if those are true or not. So because of that, there's a lot of difficulty in this. But you can see that for Mr. Sapkowski, the world is really like a background, is a stage really for events to happen. And that stage needs to be good enough for the thriller, for the drama to happen between the characters. But that's it, I believe. Therefore, I would say that yes, in a way, I think it is justified to say that Andrzej Sapkowski is more interested in characters than the world. But again, that's my judgment as a fan of the series, as someone who knows everything he wrote, based on observation, right? That's what I would say. I think that's everything I can add here, my friend. Does the work of Lem influence Cyberpunk or Witcher? Oh, actually, we brought Lem so many times when we were working on Cyberpunk. It's amazing. It's excellent. And I think what helps also is like Stanisław Lem had so much more, I would say, luck when it comes to the translation, because like English translations, and again, I read Lem only in Polish. I don't remember if I read English. I don't think so. I would assume no. But I've talked to a lot of people who read Lem in English, who are experts basically in our company, and they absolutely love him. They say that the translation is excellent in comparison to, let's say, the original translation of the Witcher books to English. Because I've read first 3 books in English. I'm talking about Saga right now. And again, it's functional, but in a way, it just feels like a quite simple and basic just fantasy, while like in Polish, Witcher has this incredible like flavor and different colors, you know, and I'm talking about language. Andrzej Sapkowski is incredible when it comes to stylization, and everything connected to that. Like he builds the idiolect. So idiolect is a personal language way how the characters are talking. He builds idiolect of characters in such a fucking clever way, and on English books that's so lost. I think that's so lost. That's why I really appreciate like how the Witcher games are done in English. Like you can really see that Boris Pugacz-Muraszkiewicz and our adaptation team really try to make it really feel great. That's why you have different accents, you know. For instance, you know, my dear Sapphire, as you know, she's Scottish, right? Like, so dwarfs in Witcher are Scottish, right? You can hear them speak with a Scottish accent, sometimes throw words like this and so on. It's and the way how Boris and his team use those different accents, really wonderful. It makes it feel very, very rich. So going back to your original question, like I feel that you know, like there's people who had had a read Lem in English had so much better time than reading it in English on than reading Witcher on English. Anyhow, Scottish dwarves, how original. I know, yes. Dwarves were Scottish since I think Witcher 2? Or I think in Witcher 1 they were Scottish? No, I think Witcher 2 they became Scottish. So that was the times. But you know, like please remember that when we talk about Witcher 2, that's 2011, right? 2012 was the enhanced edition. So that's been written in what, like 2009 and 10. So at that time, that wasn't that common, I would say, as it feels right now for you. Oh God, Oh, hello. We have Susie on the chat. Hello, Susie. Nice to have you with us. Sphere Hunter wrote, I love the Rivia accent being American. It makes Geralt stand out and kind of adds to the common townsfolk seeing he as a freak. Since that wouldn't be a common sounding voice in any fantasy setting. Yeah. Well said, Susie. Like, actually, like, I know because I talked to Boris a bunch of times, and Mikołaj Szwed, our adaptation manager. I talked to them a bunch of times about these topics, and yeah, they always pay attention to that. We also try to do it in all other languages, of course, not only English, not only German that has it as well, and not only Polish, but also other languages as well. To smaller and bigger success, I would say. I still think like that Polish and English versions of our games are probably the best. However, like few other are also like really awesome. But like I would maybe point out Korean and Chinese, especially on Cyberpunk. But the whole localization that we introduced for The Witcher 3. With the next gen update has been really incredible. I think, like, especially the Priscilla songs, holy fuck, they sound so insane in Korean and Chinese. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to, but amazing stuff. It's not really easy song to sing, so that's even more, I would say, impressive. What I think is cool that Geralt doesn't really stand out in a negative way with his American accent. You would think that in the Witcher setting. Exactly, Dom R10. That's basically what Susie pointed out, like, because like it comes together with the fact that he's an outsider and he's treated as an outsider, so yeah. Gotham City Knight asks, will you guys introduce more cultures in Cyberpunk and how they interact, like, for example, Dominicans, and how they interact with Haitians and the Voodoo Boys? Gotham City Knight. I mean, we definitely love doing stuff like that. So, like, basically using just different cultures as inspirations and adding it, to the game and showing the richness, of those cultures, especially that, like, it's interesting because, like, in AAA space, there's so little games that have different sort of traditions than just Anglo-Saxon. So, like, basically English. So I'm talking about America and the UK and Australia. Like the whole Anglo-Saxon like tradition is like so sort of dominant in a way that we as people, we are kind of got used to that. I stream in English, right, for you guys, so you can understand me. There's a reason why probably I don't stream in Spanish or Chinese or Polish, right, because Anglo-Saxon culture was so dominant. Therefore, I think it's especially, like, I would say, wonderful to have those moments when you have different culture than just Anglo-Saxon cultures in the game, and have them presented well in an interesting way. That's why I love the Voodoo Boys, in Cyberpunk. I think they turned out really awesome, like Creole, and the way how the Kiroshi translates that. I think it's fucking cool. I think it's cool because, like, I don't remember game that did that. And I love doing stuff that is, like, original and new and unique and different. And the fact that we can do things that are unique and new for, like, AAA space. And we are, like, stuff like almost like in indie games do, but we are doing it in a AAA space. I'm so sort of thankful, to the company and to the board, that they allow us to do stuff like this. It's fantastic, honestly. So yes, so in a way, I'd love that. I'm personally really fascinated by this. I think there's just so much richness in the world of, like, various cultures that we can basically use and present them in the game in various ways. I think, like, this is also, like, a large part of the success of the Witcher games. The fact that they're so deeply submerged in Slavic culture, because like when you analyze the Witcher IP in general, I am talking books, games, and also TV series right now, you can see that there is one distinct element, and that element is the Witcher that is coming from CD Projekt is the one that has a lot of Slavic elements. The one that is coming from Andrzej Sapkowski, it does have it, but to this much smaller extent. The one on the TV show has it in very little extent. And the one that we did has a lot of it, you know? And I kind of feel that it's like partially contributed to the success of The Witcher, you know? Because like for the largest markets in the world, which is America and the whole Anglo-Saxon part of the world, basically, for them, it was new, it was fresh, it was different, and nobody has done it before. Who fucking played Polania before, you know, and was milking cows? You know, probably not that many of you, right? Because there were Slavic games that did that before, but not to the level of the Witcher games. Anyway, Wind's Howling, exactly, Born to be King, exactly as I say it. Detroit Become Human asks, Pavel, do you feel like Cyberpunk can evolve into a powerful emotional franchise like Mass Effect franchise? Well, I mean, Detroit Become Human, I hope that first Cyberpunk was already for you an emotional emotional journey, you know, that we really tried to do. And honestly, like, I am personally really a huge fan of doing that. I think like that the media that really triggers emotions in us as human beings, this is the media I want to sort of consume, and this is the media I want to interact with and engage with, you know. Those are the games I want to play, those are the books I want to read, those are the movies I want to see. So like emotions super important for me, so I do hope that Cyberpunk will be like this for you. Like for me it was. Maybe also because of different reasons as well, but definitely was like this. Have you ever played The Wolf Among Us? Oh, absolutely, my friend, absolutely. I'll show you something. This is a cover. This is a cover of my notebook. You know, the fucking mad notebook that I have had in you know, on one of the sort of cyberpunk make-off videos of Night City Wires. You know, the one when I made like fucking insane notes and so on. It's still next to me. It's like this, like right now I'm just noting all the Phantom Liberty stuff there. And the thing is that this cover is from A Wolf Among Us, if you didn't recognize. So yes, that is my notebook, my friend. So yes, I do know Wolf Among Us. I actually read not many, but like few hardcover comic books, the Fables that were released by this big publishing house in Poland. Oh god, Egmont. Yes, Egmont released like bunch of big hardcovers for the Fables. So I'm a fan of the Fables. Really, honestly, I think I've read like first 6 or 7, and of course, you know, so that's why I really like The Wolf Among Us. And of course, you know, I played the Telltale version of it, because like the cover of my notebook is actually from the Telltale game, for those who don't know. And did I play The Walking Dead? Yes, I did play all the Walking Dead games from Telltale. I love the first one. The second one was pretty good as well. The spin-offs were already much weaker, but I enjoyed them as well. Vojto said Polani was called Night Shift in English. Oh, that's true, actually. You know, Vojto, it's interesting because like before I was in Red, I worked in Reality Pump, and Reality Pump is the company that made Night Shift, right? So... Just saying. Yeah, I worked with all of those guys that made that game. Really a legendary fucking team, and legendary devs in Poland. Krushit said, Pavel, do you have info about red testing? I was wondering when the people who applied can expect phone calls. Basha, I don't know, to be completely honest. That's not something that I'm involved at, you know. Like, I think the best would be if you can just poke on Twitter, like Alicia, Amelia, or Marcin, Momot. Just any of our community team, you know, and they will be able to help. Because honestly, I haven't been involved in that, so I have no idea. Science fiction person wrote, so then are you looking forward to the Invincible game based on LEM? I'm quite looking forward to, actually, you know, the team that builds it. I know a lot of them. I know Marek Markuszewski, you know, the one that is basically a founder of the studio. He worked as producer on The Witcher 3, Blood and Wine, and I think Hearts of Stone as well. So I know Marek quite well. We worked together also in Reality Pump. So, you know, it's all family. It's all family. So Stalwart Industries that does the Invincible game based on LEMs. That's something I'm looking forward to. I'm very curious. 3D Man wrote Salsa Quest is best quest. Oh, thank you. Rage Hammer asks, kiedy remake Wiedźmin 3, which basically means when is the remake of The Witcher 3? Well, I don't think that is something that is on the cards, my friend. If you're asking about Witcher 3 remake. Hummingbird Box, I know you are, your reasoning is to avoid leading us down the wrong path, but there is a debate in FF community about whether FF06B5 could be solved since launch or not. With the sole intent to resolve this debate, could FF06B5 be solved before any major updates were released? Oh, I can't talk about it, my friend. I can talk about it, please. Okay. You guys will be fine. I don't want to say more. I'm sorry. I don't want to say more, my friend, because like you guys need to have fun. You know, that's it. That's what I want to say. You know, I don't want to push you towards anything and encourage or discourage anything. And by saying too much, I can do that. So that's the reason why I don't want to. Okay. Black Eagle 77 wrote, only main missions are creating emotions. The side missions and gigs are demundating the empathy and emotions created. I don't know this word actually, demundating Black Eagle, but I understand that what you're saying is that we have it only in the main story. What do you think about side content though? Like, because like all the side quests about like Panam, Judy, Kerry, River, those were not emotional for you in any way? Because that was also, right, this is also side content. Leak DLC date now, Ivan the CC wrote. Okay, Ivan. Thank you. That's exactly what I was planning to do. Thank you for the suggestion. Yes. Spheroharta wrote, just have fan chat. Thank you, Susie, for being with us. It's nice, as always, when you're here. Yes, Pavel, we need to spend more time with Judy in Extended Romances DLC. Okay, cool. Yes. Not saying I'm not commenting on that. You know, I'm glad you chums have you know, mod that you can utilize. Hey, here you go. Wind's howling. How do I get more Judy content? I mean, you can just mod it, you know. That's the way you get more Judy content. This is I think an excellent methodology. Low to Earth wrote, what inspirations did you use for higher vampires besides what comes from the Witcher novels? I think that vampires in The Witcher 3 are the best part of the game. Oh, really? Interesting. I'm glad you think so. I mean, that was like a big debate, you know, when we were designing Blood and Wine, what we should base it on. Like, I think like when we were discussing things, they were mostly based on the Witcher lore And because like the thing is like there's so many different lore vampire lores out there. In a way, vampires are already quite exploited as a topic. You know, there was so many books and movies and games to some extent. You know, they have the games as well, including like Vampire and few other. Of course, you know, Vampire the Masquerade and Bloodlines. Like, so we knew that, you know, this topic is already so exploited, and we just need to find a unique angle for those vampires. That's why we were sticking to the lore really religiously. You know, really religiously. We were just checking, okay, you know, does it fit? Does it work? You know, and so on. So that was the biggest inspiration, to be honest. Just sticking with the lore, my friend. Hey, do we know if we will another patch for Witcher 3? 402, maybe. Aber11011 asks. My friend, like, I know that the team is discussing things and is looking very closely at the reception of the players of the Witcher 3 and what is the state and everything. But that is everything, my friend, that I can add. You know, at this point, like, I think the best way, if you guys believe that there is something still that needs to be addressed, that there is something that you feel is not right, it's always the best to both either send it to our customer support or just basically message. Yeah, I believe the customer support is the best. But you could also, of course, you know, poke one of our community managers. But I still feel that the customer support is really the best way to do that. And, you know, we are really, really looking closely on the feedback and like players' reception about what we are doing, you know, in our games. Oh God, there's so many questions. Imza wrote, Panam is a pain in the ass all the time. Judy is sweet. River is weird. Kerry is the coolest character in the game. Okay. I'm glad you think so. I mean, it's interesting because, like, internally, you know, when I'm talking to our narrative director Igor Sarzyński and lead quest designer Błażej Augustynek, Przemek Sawicki, lead open world designer, Andrzej Stopa, lead cinematic designer. Sorry, I'm mentioning all of them, but so that you guys know. When I'm talking to them, like, we do always like discuss Tomek Marchewka. Sorry, I didn't mention Tomek, our story director. Always when we discuss the characters, like, I believe, and I'm curious what you guys think, actually, because I really believe that it's more important that you guys believe that those characters are believable, realistic, that they are a sort of blood and bones, you know, characters, like a real, made of a real flesh characters, rather than the fact that you like them. I think the fact that you will dislike the characters, that you will feel that they are weird or strange, or, you know, maybe they don't speak to you that much. I think this is less of an issue versus the fact that some of those characters might not feel so probable, so believable, you know? I think this is the most important, like, because there will be always people who will think, yes, Kerry is the coolest. Or there will be always people feeling like, yes, Panam is the best, you know? But we always wanted to make sure that those characters are like real, you know what I mean? Like, they can't be like, oh yeah, you know, I have a friend in work who's actually kind of like this. Oh yeah, you know, my sister is sort of acting like this, you know? Or, oh yeah, I've seen somewhere, or I had a situation in the real life, you know, with a person that acted like this. I recognized the pattern, you know what I mean? So we were trying to do it like this, and do you guys know why? Because when those things are built like this, it's relatable. It's relatable. You are starting to feel, yes, this character is actually really believable. You know, I know why he or she is doing those things. I know why she's acting like this. I know he really wants this. And I think this is the most important aspect of that. You know, the fact that you feel that those characters really have something there inside them and you can relate, you know? And it doesn't have to be always you. It can be also like someone else who you know, and you can compare and you can find this relation. And because they are relatable on some levels, you start to empathize. And the empathy is like one of the most powerful fucking things that you can do and use as a narrative designer. I always tell it to my designers when we talk. Like what we want to do, we want to empathize. We want you to empathize. And we are so fucking sneaky about it. Like, you can hear Bells of Laguna Band playing, right? Do you remember diving with Judy there together with her when she speaks and just talks about her past and what has happened? And you can see that at this point, the plot, the intrigue is not being developed anymore, but Judy is really just talking about herself, talking about what she went through, what happened to her, what are her beliefs, what is the thing that she cares about. And it allows you to get to know her. And you know what happens? It becomes relatable, it becomes real, it becomes probable. And then you start to empathize. You start thinking, God, this is an actual character, actual person. You know, that's what I think is most important when you construct the characters. The OST is just beautiful. Honza Red, yes, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you guys liked it. Most beautiful quest ever. Yeah, that's the work of Sarah Grimmer, the expert quest designer in my team. Sarah is awesome. Protagonist wrote, "Don't like this quest. Diving was super boring." Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the thing. Protagonist, for some of you, it will be boring because maybe you weren't invested in Judy as a character this much. I mean, that's the thing, is like some of the... I think like some of the things that we are doing, you know, not everything will be for everyone, you know, and I think it's like as normal as life, you know. Sometimes you would just think that you just would want to like much more of that. And sometimes you will feel it's boring, you know. I mean, depending of really like what you're looking for. Gotham City Night, can we get a Cyber Gwent minigame? Sure. Sure, my friend. But Bad Karma says, please put multiplayer, dude. You mean like put out? Like you mean to make multiplayer? Oh God, my friend. Not going to comment on that, but I'm glad you would want some of that multiplayer experience in Cyberpunk. What are the processes of creating a character? Oh God, I would have to talk about it for like fucking hours. Like, creating a character is completely different than most people believe it is, you know? It honestly is completely different. And there's like so many fucking misconceptions out there, seriously. Like, it's like, for instance, like one of the things that people believe, and sometimes, you know, when I just like Google or even look at the courses of storytelling, like for instance, people say like, yeah, if you want to know the character, you just get like an RPG sheet and almost like, you know, fill up all of those informations about these characters, or you go in and create a dating profile, you know, and you just make a dating profile. You know, you go in and make a Kerry Eurodyne's Tinder profile. That's not the way you create a character. That's fucking weird. Like, I'm like, okay, well, maybe you want to have Kerry's Tinder profile. I get it. That is, you know, I can understand that. He's a cool guy. But, like, that's not the way how you create the character. Characters are drivers of your plot. They are the biggest... They are the sharpest swords and the most deadly guns you have in your plot. So the way you do it, you start crafting a narrative. You start thinking about the story arc. you first build what is going to happen. What do you want to say about this character? Like, for instance, with Kerry Eurodyne, I knew basically what I wanted to do, what I wanted to build. So with my with the writer that I was working on with Olamotica, we knew basically what kind of character we wanted to present, and we wanted to show, you know, the transition, you know, the fact that how he goes through from the beginning, you know, of knowing, you know, Johnny, and Johnny sort of coming back to his life and going through that process, and then, you know, you reuniting Samurai back to the point of actually putting him on track, you know, from the point of being at the almost at the suicide level. So I looked into like the lore, I looked into the story of the Samurai as a band at Kerry, and I thought, okay, what do we want to actually tell about this character? What is his story arc? You know, what are the events that I want to create? Like, I wanted to, for instance, like, have this banging moment of the concert of Samurai. So, like, the moment of all of them reunited, and then afterwards, this final sort of conversation with Kerry, the moment when everything changes in a way between you. You know, the moment when he's jamming in a red dirt, you know, with a guitar, when he gives you the Archangel and so on. That's the moment when everything sort of changes, right? And I looked into it and thought, okay, those are the key moments of his like arc. And only then you start thinking about the character, right? You start thinking what kind of guy he is and so on. You never go and sort of fill up his dating profile, right? Like, you are very often just looking at the references, right? Like, for instance, like, I was when I was creating like the scenes for Kerry, when I was writing the screenplay for that character for that storyline, one of the people I was thinking about is Steven Taylor. Do you guys recognize Steven Taylor, the name? I hope you do. Because I was basically looking at Steven Taylor, how he is, how he acts on the stage, the charisma he has, what kind of, yep, exactly, I hope they do, exactly. So I was basically thinking about Steven Taylor. Like, when I looked at the Kerry Eurodyne, I was thinking exactly what kind of character he's gonna be, and I was thinking I want to, in a way, get inspired by sort of his life, but also the charisma he has, and then really just looked into it and think, you know, okay, like, what makes him actually Tyler, Steven Tyler. Yeah, that's what I meant. I really looked into that him as a person, his life, you know, the way he was as a character, as a musician, and I was just inspired by that. And I was thinking, like, yeah, this is like this is just an amazing fucking guy. I watched like interviews with Steven Taylor. I watched him perform in real life. I've watched him like the sort of when he was like jamming, and when he was like there was this I'm missing one English word, improvising. I watched him improvising, right? And I was basically making notes of various character traits that I actually liked about Steven, the way how I could actually model Kerry, you know. And again, of course, you know, all of that was just a lot of conversations with fantastic writer Ola Motika. Ola was so good with that, you know, when we were talking together, and I think we were really on the same page when it comes to how we want Kerry to be, you know. And I really wanted to include like so many different, in a way, contradictions in Kerry's character, because I felt that it will make him fascinating. It will make him unique in a way. And I really wanted to give like so much sort of a depth to this character in the moment when we'll be playing Holding On. You will see what I mean. And I have so many stories to tell you guys about this quest and how it was created and so on. So we'll play together and discuss. And you will see what I mean. But when you are creating the character, you are not really filling dating profile and trying to sort of figure out and come up with ideas what this character is. What you're trying to do is you're trying to create someone relatable. For instance, that's why the method that I used here, so modeling based of an actual real person, like Steven Tyler, and using sort of this as an inspiration is a good method. Second thing is, please remember, always remember, character is a servant of a plot, not the other way around. It's not that you are writing a plot for a character. You are making characters for the plot. That's the way you build it. That's the way I believe you build it properly. So what I'm doing always is I'm looking at the arc and I'm thinking in the same time what kind of character this guy, girl, whoever can be to make match what I need them to do in that story and how they are supposed to be and what are the most important things they have to do in that story, you know? Anyway. Date Biolo wrote, hello handsome, is it true there's no more Mr. Blue-Eyed? Hello Date Biolo, I don't know who's handsome, but I have no idea about Mr. Blue-Eyes. I wish more game devs did streams like this, Susie wrote. Well, well, I mean, I think, Susie, what happens is not that many game devs are ready to walk the fucking line of death between NDA and PR catastrophes that they can trigger, just to be close to the players, you know. So you need someone as fucking mad as me to do that. And you know, it's been so far fine, I would say. On that front, but who knows what happens. Greybeard asks, will there be any red stream soon? I mean, there no comment regarding this. Pavel is an edge runner, exactly, Kazaliski, exactly. I'm an edge runner. I'm fucking you know, adrenaline and risk. This is my jam. Soundtrack's so awesome. Oh yes. Oh yes, it is. Okay, my dears, because like I think I've steered the conversation completely towards the characters and how they are built. Remember the first message Pinky Julian wrote? I wrote on a stream and you explained that side characters like Mitch are kind of a walking signs that act as support for the main NPCs next to them, is this case Panam. It was really interesting. Yeah, exactly, Pinky. Like characters like Kerry, River, Panam, Judy, you know, and all the bigger characters, they always take a lot of space, you know. They always have a lot of like sort of screen time, and we always make sure that they're more filled up. But there are also characters, supporting characters like Mitch, who we are trying to make as believable as we can with sort of little scenes and little methods, you know, who they are, what they do, and so on. But again, they are also servants of the plot. Their role is basically to, in a way, support main characters, support main story threads. That's the way it works. Okay then. Pavel is runner on the edge. Oh, thank you. Hehe, Papieżowa, 2137, oh god. Sure. Plotzy asks, oh god, did you ever get any spanking from your supervisors for saying too much in the stream? I don't think I get any spanking, but we had some conversations with the PR and marketing team, with legal, about stuff, but they're really supportive, and they're really cool people, you know. And it's not that like someone comes to me and says like, hey Pavel, you're fucking saying too much. No, it's more like, hey Pavel, we really wouldn't want you to get fired, you know. So let's try not to get you fired. How we can make it happen, you know? And I really appreciate that point of view, you know, because not getting fired is definitely something I'm really excited for, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's it, you know. Pavel got spanked, yes. everyone, let's make Pavel fired. I mean, I said I'm excited about not getting fired. So, yes. Oh, hello. Das Gnomo is with us. I didn't know. Hello, hello. Nice to have you with us. I love your art. First of all, thank you so much for the stream. I just have a question about applications for the new Boston HQ. Do you have any information on when selected candidates will be contacted? Have an epic day, Chumi. That's no more. So the thing is that when in regards of the Boston studio, we are doing the work behind the scenes in regards of organization and everything connected to that. I can't get too much into detail in regards of that. We will contact. We will be contacting people in time. It will take some time, basically, because like when we are setting up so many things from many different fronts, also on the side of the team itself, we need to make sure we do it properly. So we start from like directors, the leads, the managers, coordinators. We have people that have vision for certain departments, that it's all put together properly. We really want to make sure that it's done well. Therefore, because of that, sometimes it will take much longer than we would want to, but I think it's important to make it right, not to make it quick, I would say. So that's as much as I can say. Like, if you have sent your application, that's amazing. I'm really glad you did. I think it would be good if like in some time you could like remind us about you and just send it again, maybe. But I think that's it. You know. And when the time is right, I will say then I'm sure that a lot of people will be contacted, you know. That's as much as I can say right now. God, let's get Pavel fired by Triple F. I hope it's this is a quote from this fire. Mitka Esep Schmiert. Thank you so much, my friend, for the prime. It's really appreciated. Tell me honestly, handsome cute, will we be shocked by the DLC? Well, I mean, it's an expansion, so I think that will be a shocking. That will be a first shocking part of the encounter. Well, at least say a little something about Mr. Blue Eyes, please. I mean, I can't talk about that. Nope. No compliments are going to force me to speak about this. Kira wrote, on my way to spank Pavel tomorrow. Oh God. God damn it. Oh God. There's a question about the cost of Phantom Liberty. I mean, my friends, I cannot speak randomly about that. Besides, this is not up to me. You know, I'm not doing the pricing sort of is not something I'm involved at. I can advise, you know, but that's it. Like much more knowledgeable and wise people on that front are taking care of that. So yes. Pavel, why is GOG showing the planned Cyberpunk update on March the 2nd? I have no idea, Pablo. I have no idea, Pablo. I can ask, what it is about. I have no idea, honestly. The March the 2nd? Okay. Stranger. Was photo of River in hospital with Randy supposed to be a bit of a joke or just came out that way? Stranger, I think it just came out that way. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be a joke, to be honest. Like, I didn't work on that quest, so, like, I've seen it that a lot of people were, like, hating that fucking picture. It kind of looks weird, I agree with you. It's like, yeah, it's, like, a bit strange, it's true. I don't know, it just came out like that. Hummingbird wrote, "Hi Pavo, I recently came across a clip where you said that the FF community needs to solve it, and then we'll discuss if the Reddit community were to solve it. Would you actively acknowledge the solution, or would we need to wait or beg? Lol. No, you don't have to beg for anything, so that's first thing. I'm really trying to, you know, treat you like a real people, so you don't have to beg for anything. But I won't comment on it in any other way, okay? Hummingbird box. Because like any comment in that front will be a hint, therefore no comment, okay? GOG is trolling, Elysiard Road. I mean, maybe. Hello, Stealth Spill. Nice to have you with us. So that's Despina. Despina is our quest designer. She is working on the new Witcher for you, and she's working a Polaris team. Hello, Despina. Great to have you with us. I had the pleasure to meet Despina 2 days ago. Yes, on our social Friday. So as always, we sat and talked about work and everything around it. Always really nice to see members of the team. There is a question from Orbaxus. Waves Arms. You're gonna create CP2077 pen and paper RPG that is streamlined for the current rather complex model under the Orc licenses, but 5e model, no OGL headache, 1,700 hours in the game, still loving it. Orbaxus. I have no knowledge about that topic, my friend. Frankly, like, I am a pen and paper player. I played Cyberpunk, and I played the Vampire the Masquerade, and I played the expansion for it, which I forgot. For pen and paper, I forgot. But for many years, so I love pen and papers, but I have no knowledge about what you ask. I'm really sorry, my friend. So I couldn't tell you. Like, I think the best would be just to poke Tal Sorian, because they are taking care of everything related to pen and paper. I think they are the best address to poke, you know? Eurodyne asks, do you get to pick what project you work on where you're assigned? It really depends on your specialty, on the situation in the studio, on projects we have, on your position, on your experience, Eurodyne. Like, normally in the game, the studios, it is like this, that you're kind of assigned, basically, like, whatever our needs, then you are assigned to a certain project. And in most cases, it works like this. We are, of course, in when it comes to Red, we are, of course, trying to be like as, how to say it, take into account, you know, whatever people want to do, because that's always the best, you know. That will be the best, like, I would say, quality, the performance will be the best, the results will be the best of that. So I definitely think that's the best approach, but that's not always possible, you know. There are always projects that take the priority at the given time. So in most cases, you are in a way assigned to that project, you know, what we'll be working on, I would say. Kira wrote, I'm gonna leave for today. Need to help my boyfriend with Resident Evil. Have a great rest of the stream. Thank you so much, Kira, and good luck with Resident Evil. Yes, all the best with that. Hi, did you see the new Cyberpunk video recenzia from Klocuch? No, I didn't. Is there a video, is there a review from Klocuch? God damn it. You are joking. I need to fucking Google this right away. Wait. I mean, I see it, but it's only like 2 years ago. Oh, there is the... I've seen it. Okay, that's... I'm scared. I'm fucking scared, I have to admit. Okay. I'm scared. I'm scared, to be completely honest with you. But it will be in Polish, right? It will be only in Polish. So, like, because we could watch it together, but I don't think this is gonna be. This is. I'm just looking at it right now. Jesus Christ, Klotsuch, what are you doing, my chum? Okay, well, I mean, the problem is that because it's in English, like we can't really watch it. But to be honest, I'm gonna like bookmark this, and I'm gonna watch it just after the stream. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I frankly cannot fucking wait for it. Wait, let me look at the comments. Oh God. Okay. Anyway, I'm curious. I'm curious. Anyway, for those who don't know, Klotsuch is a very famous Polish influencer. I would say very original creator, one of a kind. I would say has this very unique flair. Really appreciate his creativity and approach to content creation. This is how I would probably describe Klotsuch's career so far on YouTube. Anyway, so I'm going to watch it after the stream. Influencer is an interesting term for that guy. I know, Revolver. I know. Quest director doesn't play Cyberpunk anymore. What do you mean? Of course I do. It's barely. Oh shit! I was sure that we are like 30 minutes. God damn it! Just look at the watch. Okay, my dears, we are playing the game right now. What do you think? What do you think? It's the time. That's the time. That's the time. Let me load the. Holding on. I just need to check. It's barely. Oh shit. Yeah. Wait. There's some game. Yes, there is. There is some game. It's even actually pretty fucking good looking one. Okay then, my dears, I already have the game running. Let me do some shenanigans and turn off the music. Okay then, let's go. I do hope that you have sound. You probably don't, because I don't as well. And now you do have a sound. Yes, you do. Sorry, keyboard ASMR. Yeah, I'll try to use my keyboard in a quiet way. Fuck yes, let's play the game. I'm so happy. I'm happy to have Eurodyne. Let's go. Yes, so last time what we did, well, we died trying to do this. So right now we are supposed to meet Kerry Eurodyne. Let me actually get... Let's get this one, because why not? Oh, hello, beauty. That was actually really fucking awesome. I mean, I've seen it do it, but it's actually it's actually cool. Best bike? Oh yeah. I'm glad you guys like it. Okay then. So, by the way, the location here have been done by Javier. Javier is our coordinator. Oh, hello, Panam. She's always picking the best time. Javier has done the whole location, and the location when it comes to enviro art, but the design, the concept art has been done by Michał Lisowski, our coordinator of a concept art team. Fantastic guy when it comes to the concept art. Really awesome. So as you can see, Panam fucking hates the fact that you know, I'm giving Kerry some attention, so let's talk to her. Okay, so I can't stop thinking about this. So I'm just going to unload it all on you and just ignore it if you wish. I head up in here with Soul. Does he truly think this family will be better off by selling its soul to a corp? I've never seen someone with their head up their ass. Nothing about this is going to end well. Don't get mad, but maybe this Biotechnica deal got to love for the corpus either. Screwed me over. Miss Piggy voice? What do you mean by Miss Piggy? Oh, Chloe Dingus. Chloe Dingus. That was literally Panam. Wasn't it? I mean, I think it was close. Sorry, I need to read what I said. Got no love for the corpus either. Screwed me over more times than I care for remember. Still gotta deal with them sometime. Headed displeasure to make a deal with one the other day. Arasaka henchman by the name of Takemura. Slimy fucker with a mouthful of platitudes. So trust me when I say that I get you. Takemura is not a slimy fucker, Crucifix wrote. That's true. Why does the dolphin statue in Arroyo near Fallen Ferris wheel the only dolphin statue you can't break? That's very specific, Orbaxus. I frankly can't tell, my friend. I really don't know. Hey, listen to me. Working at a megacorp isn't a job like any other. It's an identity. I don't trust them and frankly anyone who deals with them is asking for trouble. Just be careful, right? Oh, and thanks. By the way, I stopped thinking about Soul and started thinking about you. Much more pleasant. Anytime. I guess you're right about Corpus. I have no way of really knowing if Takemura's hiding something or scheming, but you know, with my luck, I'll probably find out soon enough. Thanks. Somehow I feel better already. It's if talking to you has somehow unclouded my head. If I know one thing, it's that Aldecaros joining up with a corp can only end badly. I feel it is my gut. Hang in there, V. She is so cute, isn't she? LGBTQ XZ Panam. Oh God. That's definitely a unique take on Panam. Thank you. Yes. Oh, by the way, because I have the censorship on.
Oh, it's like symbolic.
Yeah, in the because like I have there is the there is the graffiti on. I will tell you some behind the scenes story. So there is the ding ding dong, as Pinky said. Normally on a version that is not censored, because this is the family friendly stream, of course, so because of that it's censored, but it's symbolic also with censorship. I mean, yeah, because it's a family friendly stream, because otherwise I don't want to be taken down by Arasaka with this stream that I'm doing here. But basically the story was that I remember when we were building all that section and so on, and I don't remember whose idea that was. There was like a joke that one of us as a designer's thrown, and at that time I remember we didn't have any like a donger graffiti, right? So I literally wrote like a Jira request to our concept art team that I need like a penis graffiti, and I sent that to a producer, and I remember producer get back to me asking if I'm serious. And I said, absolutely. This is like important for storytelling in this quest, and I need it because otherwise the story wouldn't work. And they were all concerned. They were like, "What story are you telling there that you need it?" I'm like, "It's a story of a rocker boy. I need this graffiti badly." And I remember 2 or 3 other producers talking to me about it, then the coordinator of concept art team, then lead enviro artist, and a few other managers. And every single time I had to defend my graffiti idea, and I did, and it was made. So here you go. You know, this is what it takes sometimes to get the actual art, you know, into the game. That's you really have to think about, my friends. Pavel fights for penis. Jesus, in this phrase like that, Eurodyne, it really sounds so wrong. Great lore, Jifa wrote. Thank you so much. The penis is necessary. Yeah, I mean, I knew that without it, the story cannot really like work. You know, it was like super obvious for me. And you know, that's what we do, right? Like, I personally believe that, you know, we are the devs that go you know, extra mile, and this is exactly how you do it. The real art movement, exactly. Ask a lot. Atomic Serena wrote, every time I found a ding ding dong graffiti, I was doing a snapshot and sending it to my boyfriend, to my boyfriend. Since this is the only thing he can draw, I told him that there is a future for him in game dev. Hey, here you go. Here you go. By the way, but it was actually so funny because I remember, like, I don't remember what artist that was. I think it could have been Javier. So the guy that actually did this whole location for Kerry Eurodyne, that Javier actually messaged me and asked me, is this fine? Is this penis the way I envisioned it? And I was like, it's perfect. Ship it. So yeah, that was the case. Like, we did almost like no iteration on it because by some reason everyone got it right like first time. Anyway. Anyway, let's go, because this is a family-friendly stream, and definitely the family and friendly is missing nowadays, so... So it's true that Cyberpunk was delayed because the artists refused to do the graffiti concept art. Solid Farm said, no, that's not what I said, no. So is this ding ding dong here's supposed to be some kind of a homophobia job against Kerry? Pinky Julian wrote. So that was not exactly what I was thinking about, but I wanted to semi-suggest it. Eurodyne, like, more when we go more through the place, I will actually touch it slightly more regarding the topic, because, like, at least for me and the way I was thinking about, I don't think that in 2077 homophobia is really that common in a way. That's one thing. Second thing being that you know, the society moved forward so much that it's not really anything new or different or strange, and frankly I don't think like anyone would care, especially that you know, Kerry is a celebrity, so in a way the celebrities can do more, you know. So I didn't envision it as an element of homophobia here actually, but I will touch it in a moment when we'll be inside the villa, when there's many more graffitis, and we'll talk about them together, because this is basically a part for it. We are an adult family here, Illusiard said. Oh, thank you. Pavel, go! I mean, I'm doing nothing but going. Okay, my chums. Oh god, there's like so many things that I want to talk to you about here. So for instance, we were like consciously trying to, looking... Fuck, I walked into the brazier. We were like consciously looking for ways, you know, how to make this grass look cool in here. And if you will actually look closely, each of this
What is this freak tech?
If you actually look closely, each of these androids is completely different. Each of them is actually covered with graffitis, and they have different elements, decorational elements on them, and some Some of them are actually, wow, okay, that's not what I wanted. Some of them are actually quite funny. You don't need that leg, my friend. And the reason, and you can see basically that Kerry doesn't really care about his. Yeah, this one is carrying like a. This one is wearing like a hat and so on. Yeah, Kerry doesn't care about this build. So as you can see, like this is a part of a storytelling that we wanted to do here in regards of like. Kerry doesn't fucking care, he has those robots, but he fucking drew over them, they're covered with shit, all of them. They wear have funny hats and so on. Well, they don't have heads anymore, so seeing the hats is slightly more problematic for them. But that is of course, oh, interesting. But that was, of course, intentionally part of a storytelling. Here you have a helipad, for a helicopter. And as you can see here, actually, already in this front, I'm already introducing first story threads about this character. For instance, like, you see, like, a lot of luxurious things here, but Kerry doesn't really care about them that much. You can see, okay, yeah, it was like some kind of party, probably not even that far away. He was like partying here and so on. Oh, and maybe he was actually reading something. And what I actually did, I actually added like bunch of different shards and so on. Things, mattress on the floor, very luxurious. I was more referring to the fucking pool and everything how it looks together, So the thing is that I basically wanted to do it in a way that you can see, okay, yeah, Kerry is reading a lot about music and, about different music trends and so on. So there is a Slavoj McAllister, of course, the golden flamingo, that is thrown around as a player. And yeah, like, I mean, for me, it is luxurious that you can have, thing like this in your, in your garden. Look at this, right? So, like, I wanted to build this impression here that actually it is just a place with some Eurodollars and another flamingo. That even though Kerry actually has, he is quite rich as a person, he doesn't really care that much about it, and he still has this sort of a soul of a rocker boy really burning there, even though that he may have changed. He got a bit older in time. There's still so many things that are actually typical for him, because like I felt that it will be a very interesting contrast, kill the flamingos. There was a very interesting contrast, to build between, this absolutely like a rich looking environment and the exterior and how he actually treats that exterior. And here you actually can read the reviews, of the album of the Second Conflict. So what I did, I actually wanted to make sure that basically before we introduce you, Kerry, you have so many different things that build him up as a character. And one of the things that I've done, that's also something that I was working on for The Witcher 3. Do you remember one of the first quests when you land in Skellige and together with Yennefer, you're in Mousesack's laboratory? Do you remember all of those things that you find in the laboratory that talk about, show you basically a Mousesack before you actually, or Ermion, before you actually really get to know him? Like, for instance, do you guys remember from The Witcher 3 the joke about the sword in an anvil, and then there is the illusion on it? So that's basically a very similar approach that I took here. As a player, you're actually going around the place, getting to know those things, and there's so many different hints about who he is and so on. Pablo says, Pablo, I really think you dropped the ball when it comes to the it's scrolling. When it comes to shorts and UI, they all look the same, whether it's a book snippet, chat, or a game world info. More variety in the shorts display interface would, in my opinion, help differentiate the types of shorts and add immersion. Pablo, 100% agree with you, my friend. Completely. I completely agree with you. I think like there's a very rich variety when it comes to the shards and what you actually can find, and there's many different types and different things that we wrote, but on the level of UI they are very similar there, and especially I think striking is the situation when we have, let's say, the article, the notes, and for instance the text messages and exchanges. So yeah, Pablo, I agree with you. I agree with you. Hello, Creep Slasher. Nice to have you with us. No, new game plus when Lego 99 asks. I mean, my friend, I can't really talk about it. Left trigger wrote talk polski for a minute. Left trigger, witamy na streamie, na strumyku. Witamy na strumyku. Man, that keyboard is loud. Yeah, my keyboard is loud as fuck. I love it though. But yes, because my mic is gathering the sounds from fucking everywhere. So sorry guys for that. I mean, it's an amazing keyboard, but yes. It wasn't 1 minute. To była bardzo szybka minuta. Taka wiecie, zwięzła. I like keyboard sounds, to be honest. Any chance we could get more Edge Runners content in the future updates? I don't know, my friend Aurelian, but thank you so much for your comment. Let's go, because we have so much to play in so little time, so to say, and we talk too much. Okay, I will allow it. Thank you, Revolver. So those are actually different snippets from the new album review. Keyboard adds to the retro 90s vibe. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Pablo. Okay. Let's look at this. Let's look at those reviews. People always say that after Johnny vanished, Samurai vanished with him. I'll push it to the step further. When Samurai vanished, so did Kerry Eurodyne. This latest album proves Eurodyne will never be more than a samurai epigone. And Ouroboros, a sad, second-hand Tour de France, de Force. Eurodyne can't seem to climb out of Silverhand's shadow, and honestly, it doesn't seem like he wants to. He's still basking in the memories of decades-old scandals because he can't put together a headline of its own these days. Kerry Eurodyne's golden age has long since passed. What's got me curious is how much money he's label pumping into this sinking ship just so we don't think otherwise. Yep, as you can see, actually, top-notch voice acting. Oh, thank you, my friend. So as you can see, actually, you can learn more about like Kerry's current situation and what is actually happening to his life. And here actually you can even look into his living room. I absolutely love it, and that is like one of the elements of the design of this house that I love we managed to pull off. I was discussing this so much together with Javier because we wanted to give Kerry a garage for his amazing Aerondight, as you can see. And the thing is that as you can see, when he's parking, he doesn't even care. He just like stopped here because this is just under the roof. You can see, but this is like sort of open garage in a way when he parks his car. And here you can see a vomit, So that was the idea, that he was really partying really badly and, just maybe went a bit too far and he didn't even care, So that's basically like there's like so many small elements that build him as a character, and we'll get there in a moment because I can even tell you like a long fucking story about this door that is here. But I wanted to show you something else. There are also there's also more shards as well. The one, for instance, regarding the robots, or the androids. Murdarod, hi Pavel, hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm having a pretty decent evening. A broken window would be too much. I thought the broken window would be too much, yes. Love from Italy, Erota Coig wrote, thank you so much for the prime, my friend. Much love from cold Poland. Pablo, show us the waterfall. I'm going there, Pablo. I'm going there. I'll go around and then go back. I'm play Cyberpunk and I know this location. Well, I mean, my friend, because you probably didn't visit and didn't meet Kerry Eurodyne in your playthrough. That's the case. There is actually there's actually a lot of those quests that are spread out in Cyberpunk, and some of them are actually quite late. Kerry's storyline is quite late in Cyberpunk. If you've been just rushing the main story, then of course you have missed it. Don't have cleaning robot. I mean, I'm glad Pablo's with us, so he will tell us all about it. Caroline's new security bot line. Let's check this out. It's super easy to miss Kerry, actually. Well, I mean, it's easy if you just go main story, right? And if you just ignore side content, then yeah, of course you'll just ignore this. But you know, that was the intention, right? Because it's basically like, if you as a player, you want to play the main story and that's it, and finish it as quickly as you can, as you want, you can. And I think this is quite cool that you can do that. But like, I think ideally I would want probably Kerry to be slightly earlier, because those quests were so incredibly difficult and expensive to make. And you will see what I mean. Hirota Koi wrote, I've played Cyberpunk so many times, I've lost count. It's a masterpiece. Thank you so much, my friend, for this really nice comment. I mean, we didn't say the last words regarding the Cyberpunk, and you will know what I mean when Phantom Liberty ships, because it's as we talked, it's quite okay. It's quite fine. Let's look at the Caroline's new security bot line. Fed up with unreliable security contractors? Did anyone brainless goon from the animals beat your gardener half to death by mistake again? If you take professional self-defense systems seriously, choose Caroline's security bots powered by Holy's technology. Caroline's security bots are a proven solution for owners who adhere to our terms of service and safety guidelines. When purchasing Caroline's products, you consent to all legal provisions of the sales contract. Limited lifetime guarantee. Limited lifetime, that's an interesting combination. Pablo getting so many ideas from the chat. I mean, fucking of course. Quite okay, right. I mean, I told you guys that we are not overhyping here or anything. So, I'm just yeah. I'm just a random guy with internet connection, and you guys shouldn't care what the fuck I'm saying. Okay then, let's continue. Another one. So as you can see, like with actually Javier, what we wanted to do, we wanted to create those like small scenes where you can imagine basically Kerry sitting here and doing things. And for instance, here he was like smoking, sitting, drinking something, and reading. And what he actually has been reading, he was reading an unauthorized biography. Oh, Intercom! I completely forgot about Intercom. Yes, I'll go back and check it. Sorry if Eurodyne, I forgot, because like that structure of the quest, the introduction of Kerry is quite non-linear, and I forgot about it, and I implemented it myself. So we'll get to it. Michaelovsky asked, I don't know if I can ask, but if you have any knowledge about IFT, but have you considered collaborating with modders on adding mods to the base game like you did with the next-gen update of The Witcher 3, for example, in world navigation, which is now my must-have? Michaelovsky. Michaelovsky, I mean, we are focusing mostly right now, on doing new stuff for you. And of course, that is a topic that would require, like, I would say, an important amount of resources to pull it off, looking at how long it took for The Witcher 3 to really do it properly and well and make it work. So I think it's a very interesting, I would say, opportunity. But I don't have any further comments regarding this. Like, I know that everyone is really aware, about this, and I'm so thankful for the modders that they just basically make cool shit for Cyberpunk. It's amazing to see. for now, like, main focus is fucking Phantom Liberty and everything around this, and because I really want to make sure that you guys will have a okay time with it. Aurelian says, can't wait for Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition in 5 years. Interesting. I remember watching Monsters of Man, thinking similar bot upgrades in 2077 would be interesting. Oh yeah, I know what you mean, Kazaliski. This is a deep Cyberpunk walkthrough I ever seen. Please go on. This is the way he wrote. Thank you. We are like a year and a half into that walkthrough, so let's go. So this is basically an authorized biography, and what I wanted to do here is I actually wanted to show you guys what is the life of Kerry Eurodyne has been before actually before V and Johnny come back to his life. And you can see that there is a critique of his music, that they say that he's basically washed off, that everything that he has done really is just that he cannot even put out a good headline out there nowadays, and he lives in a scandals from like past years. And here is an example of actually an authorized biography. That happens actually quite often, you know, for the creators, for big creators, I would say, when, you know, they are still alive, when their biography is published. And then that biography is, let's say, a very interesting take on you as a person, you know. So I really wanted to like show how impactful it is for him to really see it like this. Good evening from Opole. Stiantils wrote, witamy. Torun pozdrawia, Toperzasty answered. If Samurai broke up in the books 2007, is the 13th Memory actually a dual ticket concert with Kerry and Silverhand and Johnny just fit in the band mates he remembered best? I believe so, Eurodyne. If I understand correctly your question, the answer is yes. Yeah, the indoor wall in Kerry's villa supports the aesthetics and greatly the contradictions in character in which you talked about, Pavel. Exactly. That's what I wanted to mention. Okay, let's look at it. Eurodyne, the unauthorized biography. Unsurprisingly, Samurai never achieved major commercial success, because the voice that directed the group trajectory was that of demagogue frontman Silverhand rather than of Eurodyne, which many aspirations was the pursuit of the music itself. Silverhand was possessed by grand ambitions for creative expression. Instead, he was hell-bent on a personal path of devastation. These destructive tendencies had similar influence in Kerry and persisted long after the Resaca Tower attack and Johnny's disappearance. Only following an extended hiatus did Eurodyne prove to the world his creative potential. He captured the imaginations of hearts of thousands of fans, securing him a spot in the company's music legends. Here we go. So something a bit more about like struggle basically that Kerry is going through after the Johnny was gone from his life in a way. So let's save and let's go there. Supplement C asks, saw a video about Johnny not being a trusted narrator about his memories. Is that somehow true? I mean, I don't want to like answer this in a completely yes and no manner, because in that way I will spoil absolutely everything for you. So I just wanted to mention that you know, the way how the memories look like. This was of course completely consciously done. You know, here as a player, I can actually walk in here. That was like a very interesting and creative idea. Javier and me, we had together, you know, of like how we wanna show it. And you know, here you can see basically when you're like behind that, you know, that waterfall that Pablo was talking about. Let me look at the computer. This game looks gorgeous, even on my 2-year-old gaming laptop. Yeah, this mansion is huge. Yeah. I really, like, my pitch for this location was, this is like the biggest and richest and most fucking badass and awesome looking mansion that realistically one person and successful musician could afford, you know. And of course we could go to the ridiculous extent, but then it was like difficult to like cover it all with narrative content. So we try to like balance those things, you know, to showing you as a player that there's many things to find, but in the same time it's still consistent, and you are able to like find out and figure out where the hell you are. I love it. It's so cool. I can see the water shimmering under his car. Yeah, exactly. And here you can see actually, like, as you can imagine, I fucking love emails and you know, text messages and so on. Curious why. I love those elements, you know, of storytelling. So that's why I actually put it here. Yeah, the painting. Yeah, I have actually so much to say about the painting. So we'll talk about the painting as well later. Yeah, many interesting emails tell us more about Kerry. Fun to check his emails. Exactly. Okay, let's go. Painting nude with a sword, right? Then you have Christina Lundmark talking to Kerry. Kerry, did you get a chance to take a look at the sketches I sent? Is that more or less what you were going for? You know, I love working for you, but I'm juggling other projects too. Besos. Sorry, Chris, I totally thought I got back to you anyway. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Hella prim. Slaughter on that symbolic samurai bullshit. Make it so nobody's gonna think twice about why I put out a walls-out portrait of my own naked ass. Let's do this thing. You are the best! What an amazing voice range. Oh, thank you. Rayfield details, and as you can see, like, what I tried to do is like I tried to create Kerry together with a whole palette of the things that he's surrounded with, like, you know, his place, his car, but also the underlying values. And you know, I try to like tie it up all together, that he will be a fascinating, interesting character all together when you will be playing the game, basically. And you can find out about all of those small things about him, basically. Corvo Bianco is the best. Okay. Oh my god, I want that voice as an alternative female V. Please, Pavel. Supplement asks. Oh Jesus Christ, I'm not really sure if I'm if I'm this good. So you can see that basically here Kerry is talking about his Rayfield. Here the updated technical specs for my Rayfield. Price, no object, but if you try fuck me over, believe I'll know. Dear Mr. Eurodyne, confirming receipt of your instructions and specification. We'll make all efforts to ensure you are completely satisfied with your vehicle. Please see the updated quotation attached. The reason is because basically Rayfields, especially this one, the Rayfield and Aerondight, those are made by on order, right? So here you can see that you know, Kerry ordered that. Pavel looks so hot today. Keep it up, Jennifer Sherman wrote. I mean, yeah, it is kind of hot. I need to put the aircon down. Thank you for pointing it out. I'm sweating a bit. I'm curious what he got special. When you look in the car, you can see that basically the interior in its own and the car itself is done completely customly. To Pejastero, Pavel always looks hot. Yeah, I have the heating on too high in my place. Ariel Alvezaco is talking to Kerry. So here is actually like I wanted to make sure that we will be able to like have a glimpse also into his sort of life and figure out, you know, how it works. Kerry, that makes no sense. I can barely make a toast. Don't think you wanna pay me that much to sit together in the kitchen over a burnt dinner. Maybe I can learn to mix drinks. like the ones you made yesterday. Either way, sorry, but not for me. Ariel, come on, you're great. We've just got distracted talking, that's why the adobo turned out like shit. Besides, where I'm supposed to find another Filipino chef? Already lucky to spot you at the party. But I don't know, you like plants? Could be my gardener, be sure Preem too. Mario, is that you? That's not Mario as far as I'm aware. That's Ariel. So you can see actually here that Kerry is actually caring for the people, and for him it actually cares more that he basically hires someone rather than the fact that Kerry will be that he hires someone who's like in a way his friends who he likes, that actually even maybe someone who puts the best job out there and he wants to really take care of that person, you know. So as you can see, like we are slowly dropping here small personality traits and elements about this character, who he is and how he is. Hummingbird Box asked, reminded by that computer to ask, do all password locked laptops have a code hidden somewhere? Because I can think of at least 2 I never found, and I have 850 plus hours in it, Konpeki during escape, and one on the ones in Delamain HQ. I mean, I'm quite sure all of them do have codes. It's just you didn't find out yet. So yes. Presents, Luis, Nadrin, to Kerry. Yeah. So this is a very interesting, like I would say, part of a Kerry's background that we can talk about. And you can see Luis Nordin mention, talk about the kids actually. The kids say thanks for the presents. Seems they were all pleasantly surprised that have a fucking father after all. If you're trying to buy their love, well, congratulations. They're happy enough to want to come to see you. Luis, come on. You know I can't have Tad and Kim over here. I'm living here with 15 figure skaters and a wind-up version of one of those organ grandeur monkeys. This is no place for children. Read that one out loud to them. Too bad you weren't there to see their faces. Are you out of your fucking mind? Why are you getting them involved? I'm serious. Why they can stay here with me? But you know what? Maybe we can just go on trip somewhere. They had a lot of fun on those islands last time. Actually, why don't you just go with them? I'll take care of the hotel, tickets, everything. Just tell me when. Yes, so as you can see exactly, so this is an important bit of the knowledge from Kerry's. Actually, this is his ex-wife. He used to be in a relationship. They have actually kids. They are not here basically, and a lot of things have changed in Kerry's life. You can see that they have sporadic contact and so on. The way how it's done, the reason why it's done like that, because this was already introduced in the lore like this, and we as devs, we really wanted to be faithful for the lore and keep it up and make sure that him as a personality and as a character, he will really come together and be intact as a person. Seriously, never get your kids involved in your spats. Yep, exactly, Eurodyne. George asks, hi Pavo, since you added some mods to The Witcher 3 next gen update, wouldn't it be nice to be able to enable 3D markers in the world and disable the minimap entirely, like in the friendly hot mod does in how it's done in Cyberpunk? Maybe consider adding such option in some update. George, I mean, it's an interesting question. Like the thing is, like the whole mod and implementation in The Witcher hasn't been done like that, you know? So I think this is just an important bit, like that is a larger change, you know, for the game. It's not done the same way as it is in Cyberpunk. But thank you so much for your comment, my friend. Syntalax says, I just love what you and the team have created. 1,000 hours in Skyrim, 400 in Fallout, and now Cyberpunk. Love the game, really. Thank you for the mod support and for the game in first place. Thank you so much, Syntalax. Really appreciate it, my friend. Now, let's go to the another one. Kerry to Aram. Aram, you still haven't tracked down the Orthene? I've been waiting for your call. Thing is, I need like yesterday. Or at least the closer thing doesn't even need to be the same axe. Just has to be something special. Need the guitar for the last night. Bag, borrow, or steal, I don't care. I'll still pay you. Yep. So as you can see, you know, Kerry's still doing some gigs. Oh, did I check this shard? Oh, this is the album review that we've already seen. Okay. Oh, isn't that the gig you do? It is, my friend. It is. It is, exactly. I'm glad you have spotted that. Okay then, my friends, let me actually check the main gate to the Kerry's Villa because of the fact that I have missed the intercom. Jesus Christ. Parked on the center of a street. Nice catch, exactly. By the way, I hope you guys like this, you know. I requested, like, when we were working with Javier, I requested the completely custom gate here for Kerry, so that it will look properly and, you know, with his second conflict logo type, in a way. And this is basically a sign of just, like, new, sort of new, revamped, refought Kerry Eurodyne, you know, with this samurai head. I want one in my house. I'm glad you do. We tried to make it cool like this for you. Oh, I can't. That's not what I want to do. Oh shit, there's too little space here. That's interesting. I can't access this intercom. Oh, because I went in and I think it might have get disabled. I think so. Yeah. So no intercom then. I need to actually take a look in the quest on my own, because I think like I unintentionally disabled that. Okay, let's go. Playing this game and some car is honking. I'm in inventory, some car is honking, not in my game. Okay. Okay, guys, so another thing is, like, when we were working on this quest and on Cyberpunk here together with Javier, we were like, okay, we really want to make sure that we have, like, this super grand, completely customly made door to Kerry's place, you know? And this is the only place you can actually see this door be, you know? It's actually funny, but there's no other place when you can see this door, because I love, like, tall doors. It always makes me think that the doors, that it makes it, like, really looking really grand and sort of exclusive. And here you can see, and it opens up, and the idea was that specifically the piano will be exactly at the center when you walk in.
Seafood barf. Hope it was expensive, at least. Something's got to justify this level of tacky.
No, thanks, Johnny. And as you can see, actually, like, there's a piano in the center and so on when you walk in, and it's a very, very interesting location, you know. I would say a very exclusive one in a way. And one of the things you can see right away when you are walking around is, like, Kerry doesn't really care about this place too much. Like, he doesn't care that something is actually not right, you know, when it comes to, like, I'm talking about the cleanliness of the place. Stealth Spill wrote, Kerry's house is very rococo. Yes, exactly. The spina is very rococo. This is a joke from like a year ago. I hope that some of you remember what it means. He's alone. Yes. So here is actually another thing. So what I wanted to do, we have this album, you know, in the game. So I wanted to basically make sure that also like we are showing that Kerry is also sort of like looking into what other artists are doing and reading sort of their reviews of their materials and so on. So we can actually, as a player, check it out here, which is like a part of the storytelling.
Oh, fuck. Cookie cutter crap straight from a catalog. Doubt Kerry picked this. Always ate out. Always.
Yeah, and this is like actually like it will be so funny for you guys, but basically like when we were building this location, we like ordered completely custom door for this place. We ordered a completely custom table for Kerry. So this table that is here, you know, we really wanted to make sure that, you know, he has like very specific and unique sort of taste. But also he doesn't fucking care about his interior and so on. And sure, yeah, he was probably playing here, having some food, composing, you know, sitting by this piano. And you can see definitely like you can sort of start imagining, I would say, the personality of a person who's living in a place like this. You know, that was like the whole sort of idea of that. And here you can start actually seeing different fucking guitars, you know, and different collection of those guitars here as a player. You can actually check basically that like each one of them is a sort of like a different is like a different sort of model of guitar, which is actually quite cool. You know, you can see there's even a balalaika, you know, from a certain year here. I think like most of them you can scan as a player and basically learn something new about this.
Wow. Now I am impressed.
And you can see here we actually even
myself back in our samurai days.
You can even see here like it's completely custom like animation and so on for Johnny here when he actually sees those guitars, how Kerry was like approaching it. And here actually there's a fucking whole graffiti on the wall, and here another part of actually graffiti, right? Like, so you can see, okay, they were probably fucking partying quite wild, you know. There's even a shovel here. So they were probably pirating quite wild if it actually ended up like this.
Acts like that run us many eddies?
Forget it. We couldn't afford it. That's Kerry's fave.
Yeah, exactly. One of them. Sorry, I'll just take a look at the chat. The only unrealistic element is the lack of roaches, and it's in California. Oh God. Yes, I didn't want insects, the spina, so that's true. Anyway, okay, let's look around, you know, because there's much more going on. So here, if you approach, you can actually hear that he's actually showering right now, most likely.
Looks like he's showering.
Alone, too. Good thing, believe me. Okay, leave the rest to me. I'll get him out of there.
Yeah, so what I wanted to do is actually, I wanted to create a situation in a way that will be sort of natural to the fact that if you walked in and fucking destroyed some of his androids and then walked in, basically checked so many different things in his place, it will be still like believable and understandable that he is actually just having a shower, you know, there and doesn't hear you. But there are also other things that you can check as a player. You can see here, Second Conflict Collector's Edition, Kerry Eurodyne here. I think like this also has a different variant if you didn't trigger that conversation with Johnny there, because Johnny's waiting now for the action. But here, as you can see, I basically took care of that. It prepared all of those songs, you know, so you can see all of the most important like vinyls, you know, here as on an exposition. There's also the fact that you can see, of course, you can scan the car as well. as well as, oh, okay, because this was already disabled. You know what? Let me actually load this, because I have basically the painting, because I have basically went in and triggered already the next section by triggering the bathroom, and I want to explore the whole place and show you like all of those additional things when Johnny's with us. So let's go inside.
Fugly as seafood barf. Hope it was expensive at least.
Yeah.
Something's gotta justify this level of tacky.
And I love basically like sort of doing like the world building and character building like this, you know, just by creating the whole location, the place filled up with different stories that tell elements of that character. Anyway, here you have the review about the samurai. This I won't read, but basically it all ties up.
Cookie cutter crap straight from a catalog. Doubt Kerry picked this.
Yeah, you can
always ate out. Always.
You can actually see that there is the
What's this?
yeah, and
second conflict.
yeah, and those are this is the another variant that I was telling you about.
Guess nothing's changed.
Yeah, so there is like bunch of things that I actually did here in situation when you like don't go directly there because John is already occupied, but you can actually do something more here.
Okay. Even I know that one.
An oldie but a goodie.
Yeah.
Never fade away.
Guess if I had a fave, it'd be that one.
Yeah, you can do like we can do like a bit of a world building and story
Old
character
single
building
we put
like
out.
this.
No idea why Kerry hoards shit like that.
Okay then. So I think we have investigated all of those. I'll just scan them and I'll continue, and I'll just for now ignore the guitars and the bathroom because I forgot that this triggers this section.
All right, I'll give him that one.
Yeah, so you can see that Johnny meant the car, that he really likes the car that Kerry has. And I really wanted to do that because like I don't know if you remember, but in the prologue of Cyberpunk for the street key we say that basically there's I believe three only Aerondights in the whole Night City, and we really made sure that there's only three. There's one that you steal, there's one that Kerry has, and then there's one that drives around in North Coast, and that's it. There's only three of them. Kirk, exactly, Constantine. So the thing was that I really wanted to make sure that Kerry is one of those that actually has this car and can have that car. And of course, the one is also the one that V can buy, because as a player you can also buy one of them from if I'm not wrong.
Beautiful butterfly Kerry emerging from his silky samurai Christmas.
Yeah. And you can see basically that this is a painting that I really wanted to have here to just give, this whole interior a very unique, like personal touch, that it's really a place that he's living at. And so there's 4, not 3, but close. Yes, Automata. Yes, there's 4. I agree. So one of the things that I wanted to mention is, I don't know, do you guys remember in Witcher 3? There is a moment when you're getting into the brothel that used to belong to Dandelion. And when you're getting there, you actually see the painting of Dandelion when he is basically killing a wyvern, with Dandelion's portrait. Yeah, so that portrait was also requested by me, because that's also my quest from The Witcher 3, when I was working on that thing for Dandelion. So what I did there, I wanted to do the character building like this. And I had this crazy idea that I would just talk to character artists and see what they do. And I remember Lea Alonovich, who drew that portrait in The Witcher 3, she did it so well that later like 5-6 years later, when I was designing this quest for Kerry Eurodyne, I remembered about this. The Crimson Avenger, exactly, low to earth. The Crimson Avenger. So I remembered about it. So what I did, I actually went to our concept art team. And in this case, it's one of our best concept artists in the whole company, and a really wonderful person, Bogna Gawrońska. Bogna is she is an absolute master when it comes to paintings. And I went to Bogna and told her, hey, I really want to have like a painting of Kerry Eurodyne, and I wanted to fit him. So the way to fit him, I was like, okay, I want him to be in a way slightly egotistic, and really like make him be in the center, but I wanted this painting to tell a story of him, sort of almost like having this shell of samurai, and samurai, you know, having this armor of samurai on him, and sort of growing further. And this review that we have read about the samurai and who Kerry became after the time, it said that after some time Kerry managed to sort of redefine himself and became someone different than when he was during the samurai times. So here basically you have the naked Kerry, almost naked Kerry, you know, coming out, you know, from that shell of samurai. And that was supposed to be what I meant by that, you know. So that's the reason why it looks like that, and so on. And of course, you know, there's a lot of more things that we can show here. Yeah, exactly. It's a metamorphosis, right, for Kerry, basically showing exactly who he was, how he turns out, and so on. Can I ask how old Kerry is? Oh, I was checking it, but I don't remember. He's 74, I think. 74 or 78, something like in late 70s from what I remember. But please remember that he has a lot of like augmentations and cyberware that make him look like he's just in, I would say, what, like late 30s, early 40s. But that was the idea, because it was supposed to be like this. He's much older than he looks like, basically. Yes, and the background music, of course. How is Rogue then? Similar empathy. Empty WW, sorry. Very similar. They are very similar age, because they were like all young during 2023 when all that things transpired. I don't remember exactly, but like I think Rogue was like 78 and Kerry was like 74, something like this. But I might be wrong here, because like it's not that easy. Like if you check in the lore and then you check in 77, then you will know. Okay then, that's like one of the coolest parts here. But you know, there's many more elements here. Maybe I can check this. Yeah, those are Chronicles of Titania, like one of the books that Kerry likes. That's why I wanted to put it here. Now let's walk around actually and check some other things on this location. So. This is yes. So this is his place.
Actual necessity in this whole pad.
Yes. So as you can see, his place, Kerry's place. You can see that he sleeps with the gun. And I really wanted to do it in a way that you, as a player, when you will be walking around and you will be like triggering those different scenes, you'll be able to really see different, like, in a way, faces of Kerry, you know, different things about him and so on. I think we have actually already checked everything. Yeah, because that was the so this is the email regarding the painting. This is the Rayfield. The cook will mention later. Yes, this is the Louise, which will be mentioned, and the guitar is the reference to the gig. So as you see, like everything like comes together. How many quest directors and designers can work on a single character? Well, I mean, the quest director, we only have one person, obviously, because like there cannot be too many directors. But how many quest designers? Well, it can be a lot, to be completely honest with you, because the thing is, oh, you can see the AV passing actually right now through the city. Normally there's like a bunch of different quest designers if this is a bigger character arc. If this is like a smaller character arc, it's one character. So for instance, Ozop, Despina, who's with us, Despina did the quest for Ozop, but then the part with the fist fight, the small bit was done by Philip Weber. So for instance, that's the case, right? In case of Judy, most of it was done by Sarah Grimmer, our expert quest designer. When it comes to Kerry, a large part was done by me, and second part, the ending and the romance, that was done by Joanna Radomska. So it really depends, you know, depending on the size. It can be from one quest designer to multiple quest designers. In case of Takemura, most of his quests were done by Philip Weber. Again, when it comes to like Meredith Stout, that was all done by me. So really, it really depends, you know, where on the size of the given character and what actually is what we are actually doing.
That he sits here and thinks, the fuck I need all this shit for?
Yeah, and you can see, but basically like fucking amazing views, you know, amazing views on the city and on the background there, and on the garden. Like I was just looking for like some awesome like places where naturally like he could just sit and look, you know, to the distance and think. Anyway, me personally, as a person, I just love stuff like this. So that's why when building, you know, Kerry, I just did stuff that I also like, in a ways. I think, oh yes, there is more here. How will the DLC patch for Cyberpunk increase the minimum requirements for PC? Filu99 asks, my friend, I cannot talk about this topic. Like, I assume this is going to be addressed, like, before the release, but I can't talk about this, you know. I'm sorry, I have no updates, my friend. Like, I think when the time is right, it will be there, you know. You missed one, Aerondight, there's 5. Oh, okay, Default Daniels, I didn't know there's 5. I was sure there's 4, but... maybe there's 5. So how did Quest of Maria Mazur end up painting the rose that shows up in a quest item in Night City? Maria was a narrative QA, and she became a year and a half ago a quest designer, and she has painted that rose just in her time when she was a QA, and basically the environment artist loved that picture so much that basically that artist included it in the game, and that's basically how it happened. Okay then. Philo wrote, okay, I totally understand. I'm just worrying because I'm still using GTX 9060 2GB, so even now it's not so well. Yeah, Philo, I mean that is not like great, to be honest. I mean, you know, I know that the team will be doing everything we can, you know, to make sure that it runs as many sort of different configurations as possible. But in a way, like, one of the things that are amazing about Cyberpunk is that it kind of squeezes, you know, the last fucking sweat out of those machines, and I quite like it. It just makes our games look beautiful and really stand out there, you know. Like when I see recordings from Cyberpunk or some screenshots, you know, some pictures, it makes me proud, you know. It's just so beautiful. So yeah. Wombat Jazz asks, Paweł, have you seen any films by Krzysztof Kieślowski? Oh, absolutely. I think I've seen all of them, to be honest, during my like high school and studies time. Wombat, I believe I've seen all of them, especially that on journalism we actually had like few situations when we were simply going over his like his movies and just discussing them. So I had a pleasure to sort of get to know, like, basically his sort of I don't know, creative creativity a bit closer, you know. Okay then, let's go. Oh yes, so this is basically one of the songs, I believe, that we wanted to write for Kerry, the moment, so that you can see basically he's working on it. And here you can see actually basically like, he's here actively working on something, and here just some comment. Could be an issue with the melody here. Check with producers. Maybe they could think of something. Maybe this could be a single. Just gonna ask things who this is about. If I wanted to tell them the truth, they even know what's hiding behind these words. Yeah, you can see basically just Kerry really creating and like sort of you can see basically how his process works in a way. Who is it about, Johnny? Yeah, Eurodyne. So what we wanted to do, we didn't want to do it directly about Johnny. We wanted to do it more about the past and the change. You know, do you remember the painting that I was showing, the change he was going through, and sort of his need to redefine himself and find his own sort of face and voice. In a way, that's basically what it is about. So partially yes. Sweat with 962 gigabyte, it will convert the silicone into sand. And this point, Berserk wrote. Damn. Exit to the next level. Asked, will there be the Norfolk Casino Resort in Phantom Liberty expansion? Oh god, I've been asked this question so many times. My friends, I don't even know what a casino is about. If it's even a casino, that's first thing, and what that location is. I've never worked on it. It's definitely had to be a hard process to get out of the shadow of samurai. Exactly, Eurodyne. And the thing is, like, you can actually see it happen with a lot of, like, I would say prominent creators who had like a fantastic career when they were a part of a band and they were together, and then when they tried to solo career, it didn't really work out. You know, for so many artists, it didn't really work out. So that's kind of like the reference point that we had here when building this. Another one, this time another one, this is called the Dark Matter, or maybe the Dark Energy. And this one is the one that you can probably get or understand, you know, what he's thinking about. The background music, awesome. Does anyone know the title or something? Oh, I don't know the title. This is like customly basically written music for Kerry, and it's implemented here. Now, if it's used in any other places, I don't know. I don't think so. I didn't hear it in other places. And shivers. And shivers. Maybe the speed dial is a bit jarring. Chorus needs a real tight, strong beat with riffs in between, like Night City never heard. It's gonna be hit. I can feel it. Yeah, so you can see actually, you know, Kerry really going into it and creating. What's interesting is that we have actually like written all of those songs in this text here, so we can just read it out and go into it. I won't do it because, like, I think to do it properly, I would have to sing it, and I can't really, I can't really sing that well. So. And another one, the solo career of Kerry Eurodyne. Do you guys remember? Damien recording, I could feel it too. Damien recording it well. Detroit Became Human wrote Pavel, so I meditate on consciousness and spirituality. I was just wondering where you and the team got the ideas to make Cyberpunk so enlightening and spiritual. Well, I mean, we just looked into the world, my friend, and tried to think, like, what are the things that people will be lacking, will be missing, will really need, you know, in the times of 2077. And that, like, sort of served as a format for us, really, to create based on that. So, here is an actual like solo career of Kerry Eurodyne. I just want to read you guys this one beat because it's an interesting one in regards of like who Kerry is and how it all transpired. The friendship between Johnny Silverhand and Kerry Eurodyne, as well as the trauma behind Johnny's mysterious disappearance, has contributed to the cloak of misinformation that has obscured the true story of Samurai for years. The stubbornly loyal Eurodyne always kept silent about the foundational leadership role he held in the cold band. To the detriment of his own career, he paid full tribute to Silverhand, granting him full authorship over the band's songs. Following Samurai's disintegration and a personal retreat to the Philippines where Kerry rediscovered his creative roots, Eurodyne cut ties from the past and began the new chapter of his legacy. Today it has become clear beyond doubt that his own successes do not only match those of Silverhand's Samurai's, but has repeatedly surpassed them. Kerry's effortless natural charisma and strong stage presence electrify crowds without fail. By comparison, Silverhand's fairy sounds and political grandstanding appear now as nothing more than ordinary attention-grabbing designed to mask the otherwise pedestrian quality of his musical talent. Yep, you can see. So you can see basically that there are completely different takes, you know, of different people on what actually has happened in that times. Yeah. Oh, this one is clipping a bit. That's not nice. Yeah, and this is the one that we have already seen. And we have already read. Okay, my dears, I think we are ready to get Kerry out of his bathroom. Yes? Damn, that reading got me real hooked.
Wicked bad
You guys are too nice.
Now I am impressed. Played a few of these myself back in our samurai days.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Johnny. A wicked acid trip, but not the kind you think. What is it? Oh, this is the review of the Kings of Acid. So, Kings of Acid are just basically... Kings of Acid are like yet another like band sort of in Cyberpunk, you know, that we were referencing. So as you can see, there was a Slavoj McAllister, there were Kings of Acid, and I think something else that was also referenced here.
Looks like he's showering.
Alone, too.
Oh, Babawaika,
Good
yeah.
thing, believe me. Okay, leave the rest to me. I'll get him out of there.
Science fiction person asks, is Arkadiusz Borowik still with CDPR? I remember his legendary Polish interviews that I would have struggled to understand during Witcher 2 times. No, Arek Borowik has left the project. I think after the release of first or second expansion of Cyberpunk of Witcher 3. So that's been some time ago, you know. Okay, guys, everyone ready? Let me save the game, and we are jumping back.
Drop one of Misty's special pills. Let's go.
No worries, Sapphire. I think everything is okay, you know. I was talking about Witcher expansion, Victor Alexander 77. You, my chums, are... Yes. Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
I love this scene, by the way. You know, because like I was looking for a very like a unique way how the fuck I can introduce Kerry Eurodyne in a way that you as a player
Feels so much better.
you will really feel.
Now let's see which are up for show and which are actually strummable.
So, are we going Archangel, my dears? Jeremy wrote DLC. Yes, it's an expansion, my friend Jeremy. Nice that you're with us. Can't wait for the DLC. Champagne Stewie wrote, I'm glad you do. Never Fade Away. Never Fade Away, Archangel, Jesus Christ, I never know what you guys want. I think Never Fade Away is more in the chat. Archangel for Kerry. Yeah, I mean, well, the Archangel, yeah, I think Never Fade Away is more often in the chat. But anyway, so as you can see here, like, we've been really thinking about, like, okay, how to really do it in a way that we will introduce Kerry in a unique way. And that's why I thought about, like, okay, what if you just sit down, you start jamming, you, like, give the control over Johnny, and you play, and then this is what happens.
We lost everything.
Who the fuck? Keep playing.
And as you can see, like, one of the things I wanted to do is, like, I wanted him to go out almost like naked, you know, in his bathrobe, sort of, with a gun pointing at your face, and he has Archangel in hand that he gives you later, right? So that's why I did it in a way that I really wanted to do it. First, of course, you know, like the fact that he looks all fucking awesome, you know, walking out. He has a gun, puts it on your face, and this is a gun that he gives you later. But also the fact that he's not like, he's not like pissed off that you are like in his place or anything. He just asks you to keep fucking playing, you know? And that was basically like, this is the way how you create characters and like make them feel strong and really interesting, you know?
All right.
Johnny?
Kerry.
No. That's some fucking joke. Hang on. What did Silverhand tell me before he died?
So yeah, so as you can see, like, one of the things we wanted to do here is like convince, like, we had to tell Kerry that Johnny's back, that Johnny's inside V. But we felt that if we would be doing it in a way that V sits down with Kerry and explains everything, this will be extremely, like, boring, not fun, and probably not even convince Kerry, right? Like, he is a fucking, like, pop star, so he has heard all kinds of weird stories for sure. So we were looking for an idea how to do that. And after that thing, we were like, okay, let's just ask him, like, one last thing. He asks him, he basically told Kerry,
There's a test.
instead of
Could
just
play you another
having a
song.
long conversation.
Answer me.
And you can see here that Kerry almost recognized V's inside from the way he was playing on the guitar. And I felt that this would be like such a cool way to actually introduce such a character.
Told you to leave Samurai. Go your own way. Clearly, I was right.
Yeah,
as
his
I
face.
often am.
Exactly. You can see the emotions in his face, right?
Johnny fucking Silverhand. Fuck. I mean, how?
Surprise.
Motherfucker!
Yeah.
Okay.
His legs betray his age. Yeah, that was the idea. That was
Oh,
the idea.
fucking contraire. Been waiting 50 years to do that. So you changed a bit. Nice rack. Sporting a new style?
Yeah, so that was the whole thing, you know, like, because you can see in this, like, few moments, Kerry was introduced in such a, like, strong way, like, walking out, pointing the gun, asking you to, and then when he realizes it's actually him, that he smacks you in the face, right? Like, that combination is really amazing. Yes, I also mean Kerry misses Johnny so much that he's held on to the final thing he ever told him. So good. Yes, Susie, that's the thing. That's the thing. You guys are great. Thank you for being here with me, playing it with me.
Yeah, kinda. What about you?
Shit. Johnny.
I love voice acting here.
I need a drink. All right. Come on. Tell me. Why do you look like a small-time klepto-punk from the afterlife?
This is V.
Why do you look like a small
fuck, guy?
kleptopunk?
Doesn't explain a thing.
Yeah.
Nice place.
Ain't seen much of it yet.
Well, I kind of did.
Moved in after the 4th album came out.
All sold well, apparently.
Fuck you, Johnny. Don't even start.
Okay.
Who'd you sign with?
Shit. With Arasaka. Mornings, I record at their studio. Then evenings, Yori pops over for a little neighborly cookout.
I love this
And
chat.
who'd you really sign with?
MSM Records.
Another pillar of society.
Another pillar of society. Yeah, you can see it here. We got here.
Come on. Sit down with me. Tell me where you've been all this time.
He gets the bottle out. You know. There's a question about my build where I mean there's nothing really specific. I'm playing with like 20 technical ability, so I can use the crafting and upgrade my guns and stuff. And 20 reflexes. I'm playing with a handgun and handguns and with the 05. So I have Comrade's Hammer, 05 / Overwatch, but nowadays 05 only, and that's really it. You know, sometimes I just smack them with my gorilla arms. That's everything. Yeah, tech is practically required. Exactly. Tech, tech is great to have, you know, because it just allows you to upgrade all the shit, you know. So it works well like this. Okay, then let's continue.
Live here all by your lonesome?
Nah, got my cook, Ariel, but he's off today. Miguel... what am I... Not your biz, June. Sit down. Start talking.
Yeah, so it's like you can see. Okay, well, I mean, he can talk, but it's just he's much more interested in what was happening with Johnny.
Steal yourself for a long story.
I just really want it to be tragic. Sad as all fuck over all those years. Because if I hear you spent them with the nomads, open road, wind in your hair, or cool and relaxed in orbit, and now you've just popped by to shit all over my life, well, I'ma lose my damn mind.
Yeah, like the dialogues that Olamotica wrote here are fucking awesome. Like seriously, love this quest line and expanded Dwang. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much. Okay, well, and here you can have basically like a trick.
It is a heartbreaker.
It's basically like a typical cut when instead of just explaining everything, we sort of jump in action because otherwise.
Remember? The one damn time Henry showed up sober and clean as a whistle.
Uh-huh. And played absolute tripe.
At least Danny was happy.
Yeah. So you can hear they listen to the music here. They have the concert somewhere here, yeah, at the back, you know, running, and you have a younger Kerry and so on. I really wanted to do it like this, you know, so we can give you like as much background as possible. Also because like this quest leads up to like a Supreme, right? Like later you will be as a player really attending, that kind of concert, right? So that's why I really wanted to build it like this. And you can see this is like a completely custom scene, you know, that we have made here, so that we can have like as a background, you know, when we are talking. I think it turned out pretty fucking cool. You know, those are always very, very expensive and quite complicated to make, but I loved it. Science fiction person says, I feel like the Kerry quest should be earlier in the game. I missed the quest entirely first time I played the game. Yeah, science fiction person, we were talking about it already here. That like, because of the logic of the story, especially main story, they couldn't really be naturally earlier. We basically decided that it needs to stay here just for the because basically the narrative is gonna be much better, you know, if we do. So that's the reason. You know, I know that a lot of people missed it. Eurodyne asks, may I know after why after 1.5 this conversation about Kerry's wife was added into the game? No, it wasn't added, it was backfixed, my friend. Clearly remember, we don't have the conversation about Kerry's previous life before. This was missed by accident, or this was a decent to or this was decided to be added later. It was so we found a lot of fun conversation which haven't been added in the game. Will we have them in the future? Eurodyne, no, that was simply a bug that was occurring in specific cases, and unfortunately the combination of circumstances was here that for the player it was always disabled, so I basically fixed it for the patch.
Who's that?
Louise, the ex-wife.
I wanted to make it like work together with the
long did it
lore
last?
that we had.
Too long. But don't worry, it worked out well. For her. Gave her my house in Tokyo, cars, kids. Yeah.
Worked out pretty well for you too, then.
Yeah, so this is from where the question about the Kerry comes from here. It was simply like missed. Again, this was mostly my fault. This was mostly my fault because I missed it. This was my quest, right? So I had to bug fix that, and I did. You know, the only thing that is missing in the reunions like that are drugs. Well, I mean, there normally it was like plenty of it everywhere, you know. So his face when you ask about it, when he talks about it, he's so interesting. How he turns away from Johnny with it. Yeah, I mean, in a way, it's just his previous life, you know. Okay, let's just check the screen.
Looking at him now, those really were the best of times.
Playing fucking rat-infested dumps. Argued before every gig. Had no idea what we wanted to play, and never had an Ed do our name.
Nancy, control freak. Henry smelled like zappers and piss. I was always stealing your pants.
Hella good times, man.
Yep.
Still in touch with the gang?
Just Nance. Changed her name to Bess Isis. Works for N54 News.
Exactly. So she is a media.
Track down Denny and Henry if you want.
Yeah. So basically,
Maybe get together. You know,
maybe here I
jam or
wanted
something?
to introduce the idea of the concert, right? So like, as you can see, you know, like it's slowly growing in Kerry, right? To the point when he actually like asks, hey, you know, maybe we could
Johnny?
fucking, when you are back, Johnny,
Still
maybe we
around?
can actually get everyone back, right?
Denny might still be in the biz. Actually had talent. And a spine.
Yeah, released something not too long ago.
Thank you,
North Oak,
Pinky, for being with us
Just
here.
said you weren't in touch.
Didn't hear it from her. I think she might be avoiding me.
You ever leave this house?
Nope.
Okay.
Henry probably killed his own liver.
Nah, I would have heard if he was gone. Got mutual friends. Few calls and I should be able to track him down.
Yep. So it finds out that, like, you know, everyone is kinda
That's
around.
ISIS. Damn, Nance really went for it. Though all I hear is part-time stripper with a thing for ancient Egypt.
Shame you died. Sure she would have welcomed your input.
How is she in general, besides having nothing to do with music?
Could ask her yourself.
Okay, Chooms, are you ready to let's go and bring back Samurai?
Samurai back.
No. Could do one gig, play some dive where nobody plays us.
Yeah.
I mean, got my reputation to think about.
Yeah, and you can think that, you know, he really wants to do it, you know, inside him. That's why, and you know, like in a way, he's just
Fucking Earth to fucking Johnny Silverhand.
he's only waiting for Johnny to say it. Let's do it.
All right, Let's do it.
Fuck yeah! Okay. Send you Nancy's number in a sec. I'll go after Henry and Denny.
I'm not there. Figure it out with V.
Sure, you two get along?
Sure. Kid loves me.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay then, let's fucking call her. Let's call Nancy.
Oh my...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Johnny, you okay?
Is it possible to reject
No.
during the concert? I don't
so
remember
you must
Oasis
be V.
Cyberpunk if
Johnny
it
mentioned
is.
something like this might happen.
I think it was, but I'm not sure right now.
You two have fun at least?
That a hint of disapproval, I hear? Just sit tight for a bit. Rest. Don't worry about a thing.
Hell is this concert thing?
Did you hear that?
Gets sharper as the pills wear off. So?
Want to see Samurai live? Probably won't get another chance.
Yeah. What if we get another rogue
What
situation?
if
I'll
this
just...
ends up like the rogue thing? One big letdown.
Nah, this is different. Kerry needs this concert.
Okay. Go upstairs after the call. Oh, you mean to go to Kerry?
Okay. Call in Nancy.
Fuck yeah. Nice.
Okay. Well, we have the contact in Nancy, so I guess it's a time to do it, my friends. Science fiction person says, will you have to build a whole other quest team by yourself in Boston, or will there be other quest designers coming with you? Science fiction, so the thing is, like, there are some people coming, but because it's about their private life, until they disclose it, I'm not going to be talking about it, who is exactly coming. But basically, like, simplifying it a lot, it is like that there's gonna be only some people from the like the core leadership team, but we will be basically a people that will be recruiting, hiring, and training the team. And it's not only the quest team; it's a lot of people in the narrative department. However, like, the core group from Cyberpunk is moving and is going. So that's the status right now, my friend. And I think, like, in time, you guys will find out more and more about this. Okay, Nancy Hartley. Let's go, Nancy.
Nancy? I mean... Bess Isis?
No, this is her underpaid, underappreciated assistant. Steven, N54 News, how can I help?
Wanna talk to Bess?
I wanted to really include an intern, in my quest. When I was, like, building that, I was thinking, like, okay, I think it will be awesome if I just, like, call Baz Isis, and, she's not picking, but her intern is picking up, who's underappreciated, basically, and turns out she's in trouble, and so on. We'll take care of that. But it was actually really funny that it was really funny for me, to come up with Steven here. So, intern Steven, because it just gives you this, like, sort of a vibe of a realistic story. It's also a bit surprising, and it turns out, oh yeah, that's like this intern picked up, and Bess is somewhere, well, let's find out where she is.
Calling from Kerry Eurodyne's residence.
Cool. But Bess still isn't here. She was supposed to be back 2 days ago. Went to the Totentowns to shoot some stuff, story on Maelstrom. Call back next week or just watch the news. Anything happens to her, I'll be the first to cover it.
Got a bad feeling, V. Think we better head to the Taunton tent.
Okay, Johnny. Yeah, so you can see basically that the plot thickens, and the holding on just finished, and second conflict starts. By the way, all of those quests where Johnny is taking over your body and so on, so the ones that I did, they all have the titles of the songs of actual samurai. They are not the songs of like in all other quests that are titles of songs, but in here those are titles of songs specifically that are songs of samurai. Yeah.
Feel like shit too?
Nah, need a power nap. Wanna join me?
Let's go, V. He's joking.
Yeah, I left it like this, you know, especially like I like the work spot that I picked for you. Oh my god, Kerry. Yeah, I gave him specifically this kind of work spot. I hope you guys appreciated it, because that was you can see the work of a master here, you know. Join him. Yeah, sure. Okay, chubs, I think we are going to save the game. Oh shit. Oh. Hello. Oh yeah, right. They're now friendly to me already. He has even more. Kerry's security bot has even more than before. Okay then. Anyway, I got terrified for a moment, and the gate opened for me, so I can leave nicely Kerry's place. I will just save the game, my dears, and this will be it for today. Already time. It's already time for us, my friends. That was really fucking quick, I have to admit. It was. So let's listen to something cool for the end. I had a lot of fun playing today with you, my dears.
We had to pay the price.
And we are going to say goodbye for this week. And we are going to see each other next Sunday, exactly, when we are going to play more of Cyberpunk 2077 and continue, this time, the second conflict. So continue Kerry Eurodyne storyline. I wanted to thank so much all the Reds and moderators that have been here. Thank you so much, Cogito and Sapphire. You're always appreciated. My dears, that you're here. Thank you so much for being here. And now I wanted to mention our dear Reds that are here as well. Stealthspell, Despina, our quest designers. Thank you, Despina, for being here. Small Sandayo, Kira, our in-game photographer. Ayano, our UI producer, Monica, and Chivok, Mike, our customer support engineer. Thank you so much for all the Reds that have been here, and thank you to all the mentees from Girls of the Games who have been here, like Mihalina. It's really appreciated that you're coming over here. I will leave you with this banging song. I hope that you are going to have an amazing week, and we are going to play more Cyberpunk next time we see each other. Bye bye.
Said what you had to say, but I think of beauty.